Okay. So, yeah, what he was discussing was pretty much there were a couple problems on here that we need to go over and kind of fix and look at. Um, he did make some good suggestions. One of them, remove instructional text. Yeah, that's what he really hit us up on was grammar and editing, and then removing the text. That was the big thing.
Okay.
Another big thing was lower down. He gave us suggestions. He's like, hey, make sure not everyone's doing all the notes. Notes will be taken down by everyone. So that's what he's saying. He's like, don't do that. He said this was a good idea. He enjoyed the spirit bomb comment. Noon. Okay, so we'll be giving a producer a review at Noon's meeting. Noon's meeting is actually in reference to Sunday's meeting. So
Okay.
everything that was the deadline, and I forgot to put Sunday, so that's my fuck up. Everyone can blame that one on me. And he's like, it's unnecessary, but an interesting idea. When I said the sudden death to Super Smash Brothers, he actually thought that was kind of an interesting idea.
Okay.
He laughed with my drill is the drill that will pierce the heavens.
Okay, that's good. Probably got out of a D.
Yeah, like there. In all honesty, I don't think he was gonna put us in a D, even still.
Okay.
So what we'll do with this one, we're gonna really spend more time on the next assignment, which we're gonna start going over and start talking about, and probably getting ideas drawn up on the board, so then we understand what we're planning on doing.
Okay.
We're gonna do that today. Like that is our main goal today. Is we're gonna be looking at this focus worksheet template. This is what we have to work on. So if you guys don't have it open, go ahead and open it up. Let's make sure we have everybody in here that is going to be a part of the meeting. And let's just... starting 15 minutes. Peter, are you in here? No. Who's all in here right now?
Carter is.
I know Malave is.
I think Shinkai was. Or Miguel.
Yeah, Miguel. I thought he was too.
Nah, I'm still here.
Okay, cool. Let's fucking add Peter.
Meet Corey up in here.
I don't think Corey's going to make it. I think Corey said that he was going to be working. So what we're going to do is we're going to be doing via Skype adding. So, what the hell? Why is he not picking the fuck up? So anytime when we have something that we need to get an approval on with everybody, or kind of say, hey, this is what our game plan is, call me again. Okay. Add people. Peter. Add.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm actually not home yet. I stopped to get something to eat. I worked a little late, but I'm on my phone, so we're good.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, did you look at what the teacher graded?
Yeah, we actually were just going over that.
I looked at it too. This teacher is a very big stickler.
on proper spelling and proper grammar. So we're all gonna have to actually focus on not trying to screw that one up.
Do what?
Said we're all gonna have to focus on not screwing that one up.
Yeah, I noticed the only thing he counted off on me is he didn't like my first sentence. He said it was poor grammar. But looking over it, and I had someone else look over it, they said it doesn't seem like bad grammar.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about it, man. In all honesty, I would not be too worried about it. I mean, we all, in the logist of the whole project, we all had some pretty bad spots, and we all had some pretty bad grammar, and I am no exception to that. And so, yeah, we're going to have to really focus on everybody. Probably what's going to end up happening is we're all going to just review everybody's shit.
Yeah, I think we need to have, I can have my lovely fiance look over it too. She's a very big grammar person. That's why I always have her look over my stuff before I turn it in.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can always have Jess looking over it, and she's a journalist. So, that's always a good thing. There's a couple things, like he mentioned right here, in the roles. He said that we didn't really do that correctly. To be honest with you, I don't understand how we could have done
I
that
understand
any better.
what he was saying when I read it. The roles, what he wanted us to do is up where it says team member number 1.
Yeah.
He wanted us to put a team member's name there and then fill it all the way out. The only problem is there's only 4 spots, not 6. There's 6 of us. And I think that's what threw us, is because we only saw the 4. What we would have had to have done is create 2 more for teammate 5 and teammate 6.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we would have just gone down there and put A or P.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I understand what he was asking for. Unfortunately, the way it was laid out, it didn't look like that at first.
No. Yeah, and that's why I said it just doesn't look like what he wants. All right. Cool.
Yeah, and the other thing I noticed he counted off for us is that we forgot to take out some of the instructions in the ledger. Yeah,
we mentioned that in there too. We said, hey, we're going to just remove all the instructions next time.
And that's actually what all the... I looked at the next assignment. It specifically says what to take out.
Yeah, it specifically says to take out all the orange text. And so I wasn't going to go ahead and remove that. I was waiting for you guys to get in and we could start taking a look at the assignment together. So then we can all start going through it. I'm going to be a
little bit of a disadvantage until I get home. I won't be able to see what you guys are seeing.
No, you're good.
Are we the only ones here? Because I haven't heard anyone else speak.
No, they're here.
Oh, okay. They're just being very quiet?
Yeah. Miguel's here, Malave's here, you're here, I'm here. Corey probably will not be in. Unfortunately, because I think he's working.
I actually wanted to bring William up because if anybody looked, William had the most mistakes out of everybody.
No, I had some pretty good mistakes in my editing.
Okay. It just looked like William he commented on more on Williams than he did anybody else's.
No, he commented on mine too, and what he commented on was the section where it says delete this area, many editing errors, watch your writing. I mean, everyone knows that's me. I mean, I'm really bad at spelling. I'm really bad at grammar. So if anybody would like to volunteer to definitely check my shit out all the time, I am more than willing. Corey's our mainly editor. However, we're all going to keep ourselves pretty in line. We're all going to go, hey, dude, you misspelled that. Or, hey, you might want to rethink that sentence or something like that. We're all going to do that. So I wouldn't get too bent up and be like, hey, well, we need to bring somebody else up. It's, if they're coming behind on something,
I had my fiance go over it because instead of parents, I originally had pirates. So apparently my pirates gave me technology.
Yeah.
I was just very tired when I wrote that.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, pirates did give us some technology.
Of course, Malave comes in with that stupid comment.
That's Malave.
He likes everybody's comments though. So he likes what everybody writes.
Yeah, because I mean, he particularly pointed out one line that I wrote that he thought was really good.
In all honesty, what he wrote about Will's was not bad, and it's a longer paragraph than anybody else's. But it's because he wants him to really understand that selling a game at GameStop is completely different from producing it, just like playing a game is different from designing it. You know, he's like, yeah, you're going to have somewhat of an understanding, but you're not going to fully understand how to do it just because you sell it. So, yeah, he just makes a really good comment. I think everybody should go through all the comments and kind of go, oh, okay, cool. Deleted Donkey Kong Country, PlayStation.
I loved his little face he made at our comment about the drill that pierces the heavens.
I told you he liked that. That was good.
I think he just like, I love this so much. I'm not going to count off for this being so silly.
He also liked the Spirit Bomb stuff. So, you know, I think he likes the fact that he got to see a little piece of all of us.
Yeah, you know? and I mean, he also liked that part about the Smash Brothers, but he's like, I don't know how relevant this will be, but it sounds like fun.
Exactly. So, you know, I think he's not. I don't think he's going to be pretty hard on us. I think that in the way we just need to all really look at our grammar. We all need to be aware of it. I think
the major thing is we need to make sure our grammar is good, as well as we make sure to, if the instructions say delete something, we make sure it's deleted.
Okay. Yeah, and that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so if everyone, Peter, I know you can't right now, but can everybody still get to the Google Drive? I want to make sure that right now.
I'm in it right now.
Okay.
I know I was in it last night, so I'm pretty sure I can still get into it.
What about you, Miguel?
I'll let you know when I get home.
Miguel. Hello.
Getting in the Google Drive. Drive to the Google.
Alright, cool. Alright, so... Oh, did Corey get in here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
I thought you were going to be at work, buddy. That's why I was like, oh, man. We may have to just keep putting everything in communicator form.
Nah, I'm here. Did you guys? My bad. I was doing half.
No, you're good. Wow. Google Docs.
Alright, give me a second, and I'll open up the dock. I'm gonna move to a more comfortable area. I'm still in my bedroom. I'll go to the living room.
Yeah, the living room is where I do most of my best work, as well as most of my best gameplay.
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go do. Go chill out over there. It's cold in this room.
Friday 8th.
And that sounds like my bedroom, but unfortunately I'm not there, so...
Plus, I need to quickly feed my my bearded dragon and my Mississippi Matt turtle.
Bearded dragon? What?
Yeah,
Lizard. Type of lizard. I know this.
Oh, it's a type of lizard.
Yeah, it's a lizard. They're called the bearded dragon.
I gotta say, that is an epic name for a lizard. I did not realize that was the naming of a lizard.
Hold on, I'll show you.
Moto dragons are lizards.
Okay, so something that we're going to go over real quick in the Google Drive. I just want to talk about it for half a second, and then we'll get out of it. Okay, so Google Drive, there's the first three things that we have to really focus on. 1, 2, and 3. 3 is going to be our notes. We're going to put notes in there from every meeting. I know I stated that everyone is going to write down notes. However, this is just going to be easier. I'll take notes while we're talking and communicating, and that way it'll be directly on the Google Drive.
That's kind of beneficial for the times when I'm like on my way home or had to stop for some reason and not in a position to make notes.
Yeah, so that's why I said, you know, instead of everybody writing notes, well, let's just all have one calculated note location. The tasks and updates. This is kind of important. This is going to be where every task is for the assignment. You know, whether we're just going to list out the tasks and we're going to say, okay, hey, we knocked out this, we knocked out this. This is, so I'm going to open it up real quick. For right now, I have an everyone section. There's going to be an editor section. There's going to be a... Can I get the link? Yeah. Command C. Command V. Try that. Alright, so the task itself, right? This is kind of like an understanding if you guys... It hasn't been shared with me. What are you talking about hasn't been shared with you?
Just in the whole doc.
Like the Google Drive hasn't, like I don't have it shared. Like I can't access it on my own. I would need to get a link every time.
That's odd.
That is odd. Yeah, because it should have been shared out to you.
You should. Did you try to do what I kind of told you to do with the last one? Try to go into the black bar and go to the pop-up thing?
Nah, I only have the charter.
What's your Gmail real quick? Send me your Gmail. Yeah. Alright. Nice. Peter, where the hell are you, man?
So, is the Google Doc issue fixed?
Hang on.
I got my dragon out.
Alright, man, you should have it now in yours.
Yeah.
In your Gmail. So now you should actually currently have it. Alright. So something that I was telling Peter the other night was this is kind of important. This tells me that you have completed the assignment. You know, this also is a signature saying, hey, I'm only 50% of it done, or oh, hey, I'm actually 100% of it done. You know, this says, hey, this lets everybody know that the assignment is going to be completed, or the assignment is completed, or you're working on it. This is kind of crucial. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, that's because during the Google chat, or the Skype chat earlier, whatever day it was, I unfortunately was at work, and my phone didn't notify me that it was going on, and in it, everybody was told that it was go ahead to go and submit it, but I hadn't finished it yet.
Yeah.
So when I got home and read that, I freaked, and I was like trying to get a hold of Aaron and everything. Finally, I got a hold of him and found out that the teacher was going to be grading his as the primary, and he hadn't submitted his yet. So I was good, so I got my information in there, but I don't want to have that happen for me or anybody else where someone didn't finish it, but yet we thought it was okay to go ahead and submit, and then we go ahead and submit, and then it hurts somebody.
Yeah, that's why I said we're going to start doing this from now on. We're going to keep this task as unupdated, because we're going to look at that and go, okay, hey, Peter didn't sign this. We can't turn this in yet. This is a written document basically stating that you have completed the assignment, or you've completed the task that you needed to complete.
Yes. So no saying you've completed it and you really haven't, because then you're only hurting yourself.
Exactly. Meeting dates. All right. So there was a lot of times I saw in the communicator that we had a problem with understanding that today at 3 p.m. was a meeting. So there is, if you don't remember if you don't remember it, or if it's in the email, or if no one responds to you in the Skype communicator, it is in the Google Drive. It is located there. I've stated the date, the time. I put in 2 different times of, military time and, like so today, a meeting was at 15 or 3 p.m., right? I said 1500. Yeah, we started a little early, but that was just because we were kind of going over, Wednesday's assignment.
I think it was because a lot of people were getting in there too, getting ready for the meeting at 3, which is usually a good idea.
Yeah.
In the future, if you guys say we have a meeting at 3, can we please not start early? Because if you guys start early and go over things that I can't
I agree.
Until 3. So everything you guys went over till 3, I kind of missed. So,
in all honesty, Corey, what we were talking about was comments in there. So if we do come in early, we won't go ahead. We won't get started. What we'll do is we'll kind of communicate and chat until the meeting time exactly.
Okay, that's cool.
So, but yeah, we kind of went over the comment section of what the teacher was having and what he saw wrong, and it was a lot of grammar on our parts. So everyone's gonna have to do checks on everybody and just say, hey, you may want to restate that statement, or you might want to fix that sentence, or this might help you if you use this word or something. It's just keeping everybody honest on this at this point.
Yeah, because I think at this point we're pretty much just all in sync. So the work that's being done is pretty much going to be what we talk about during the meetings and make sure it gets done until we get to week 2 and 3, and then it's whoever's designing the like for the mechanics or the artwork or the board itself type of deal.
Okay.
But then we get together and get it all organized. So.
Shit, where is my fucking pen? All right. So
if we do this right, when we have our last meeting for the week, we are actually submitting our project.
Yeah. So Sunday's meeting. If I didn't clarify that earlier, I'm sorry. We will have a Sunday meeting every week at noon. If you guys can't make it, that's fine. But this is kind of our last check. Anything that as a team we need to finish or finalize, it needs to be done before noon on Sunday. This is kind of where we're going to collaborate it or do anything that we need to do a final check on it. And then we're going to say, okay, Peter, you got your part. All right, Malave, you got your part. All right, we're done. And then let's go ahead and turn it in. That's what Sunday's meeting is all about. And then it's going to also set up next week's schedules. Now, I know he stated in the comments he didn't like how we were going to wait till Sunday for meeting times. However, with 3 people or 2 people that pretty much work night or have a heavy workload, we kind of have to go with what we can do. We're going to have a set meeting schedule, but I want to make it where it's somewhat adaptable to everyone's schedules.
Yeah, and I think that's, even though the teacher doesn't like that, I think it's whatever works best for our team so that we can make sure our projects are done on time.
Does anybody have a problem with that?
Nope.
Said the last meeting of the week will be on Sundays. What about the meeting beforehand?
Meetings before? Okay, so like the last week that we will have. So today's meeting, and then we're gonna have one tomorrow, and that's to finalize this game design project. Week 1. We'll talk about that in a minute. Just the whole week, the first week is all kind of messed up.
All right. So my original question would be, when is our meetings? So I can understand how I would go about that, because I do work nights. I am one of the people who work nights. So I work from 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. So I usually, once I get home, I sleep like around 3 a.m. I get up around 10. I can make anything before 10, but like as soon as like 2:40 hit, I'm already getting ready to go to work.
Yeah.
So I can do anything in the day a little bit early, but I just need to know when would it be a good day and how should I go about this, so I can make sure that I can make myself available to you guys as well as the projects we're working on.
Okay, so that was what Sunday's meeting was. I wanted to do this Sunday. I wanted to break down your week schedule. So whatever your days are, right? We can get it up and go, okay, hey, we might miss 2 people in this meeting. However, we'll find ways to catch them up. I know Malave doesn't work. Malave has stated that he could do a catch up for anybody that needs it, or we have the videos to do the same thing. So at the same point, we kind of have to see what everyone's schedule is. I know you're my big concern, because I know you were saying that you work at night basically a lot of the times. Part of the time is I work a lot during the day. However, if I have to take away like an hour or so just to throw in a meeting for you guys and do it at work, I will. Like, I'll have to do a conference call at that point, but we're going to discuss it.
I can manage doing that.
Okay.
It's just that you'll see me or hear me not only working with you guys, but also eating, because I can squeeze in like the work during my lunch hour, which is, it's from 8 to 9.
Thank you.
And
Okay.
be out of work, and whoever does have night shift, I think I'm the only one. But,
Yeah.
Too.
Okay.
So, I mean, at that point, we should be able to squeeze in as many people as possible. I can do that, too. I can do something in my lunch break, because I can just go to McDonald's and get Wi-Fi there, so that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
me working at Best Buy is kind of easy. At night shift when I do it, it's kind of easy for me to be able to be in a meeting during it, because of how how we work.
So would we say that basically an 8 to a 9 schedule would be best for everybody? If we're gonna have a meeting at some point, it's gonna be at least 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
At night?
Yeah.
Not for everyone.
Not for everybody.
That's good for me, but like I said, we need to figure out something for everybody.
No, and that's what I'm trying to do now. I mean, that's why I need to hear everyone's schedule basically. So if we want to just go ahead and break it out, what's everyone's schedule like for next week?
So I'll go ahead and put this out. I'm not scheduled at all next week except for Friday, but if I get called in, I get called in.
Yeah, I know you're that case. Not scheduled.
Yeah.
Corey, what's your schedule like next week, brother?
They don't release the schedule until Sundays because the scheduling manager sucks.
Okay, so all right, so I'm gonna have to wait till Sunday to hear from you on that one. All right,
It might come out tomorrow. As soon as I see it. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to call the GM after this meeting and ask her.
Okay.
I'll ask her if she's made the schedule for next week, and then I'll just post it in the chat.
Okay. What about Malave? I know Malave. Do you have any plans? I don't want to leave you out, man.
No.
No.
The thing I'll have to do is probably find applications to work.
Okay. Malave. Miguel, what about you?
I'm working, and this is a steady schedule, so once you doesn't change. I work every day besides Thursday. Thursday and Friday is on my day off.
Okay, Thursday and Friday is your day off. What are your Saturdays and Sunday hours like?
The same. That's 4 to 1.
4 at night.
Yeah, for 4
Peter, you killing me.
Sorry. Told you I was stopped to get something to eat.
Okay. So going by that, Thursdays and Fridays are going to be our heaviest. Are you, Miguel? Are you going to be okay for Sunday noon?
Yeah, I'll be good.
Okay.
That works with me.
What about you, Corey? Because I know you're. It kind of shifts a lot.
Yeah, the Sunday noon time this week works.
Okay, so this Sunday works for you. Okay, cool.
As long as we keep it, kind of relatively short, like less than 3 hours.
No, we're gonna keep it relatively short.
Okay.
Sunday noon. What about Saturdays? How does Saturdays look for you guys?
Free.
My Saturdays are usually free.
Except for this Saturday, which I have to work for my mom at the flower shop.
Okay.
But if we have a set schedule, I'll tell her that's when we're gonna
do this.
Yeah, and then I'll just head out and come over here and just do the meeting.
Okay. What about Miguel? I know you're going to work, so that's gonna be 4 to 1, right?
Yep.
All right.
4 to 1.
So would noon work for you for Saturday?
Yep.
All right, Corey. What about you, man?
Usually would, since I always work nights.
Okay.
And tomorrow it would, definitely. Well, actually, tomorrow it wouldn't, because I'm spending the whole day with my mom. I promised her I would do that, so.
Okay. So with that in mind, that's important. Do that with your mom. Do you want me to get with you before you go to work or something? So I can kind of.
What do we need to go over tonight? We can't go over tonight.
We're gonna go over a lot of it right now.
Okay.
Tomorrow's kind of more like a status update. Anybody have questions that we're unclear about?
Okay. Yeah, then we can just, can we not just do all that in the chat?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
If you guys want to do it just Saturday noon, just a status update, and see where you guys are at, or see where we're at. You guys want to do that for chat?
Okay, I can do that.
All right. Okay, so all right, for the rest of the week, then obviously we're gonna do a chat tomorrow, and then Sunday we're gonna do a new meeting. we'll keep it relatively short for everybody, and by that time we should be able to have the assignment completely done and posted to the FSR. I'm gonna get with Emilio after this meeting, so I'm gonna give him a call. I mean, I don't know what he's doing right now. I will give him a shout after this and see what his schedule is like. All right, so let's kind of drive on. Let's get in the Google Drive. Let's everybody take a look at what we need to do for this project.
I did.
All right, cool. Good. We haven't discussed what kind of game we want to create. What's
Or what was that?
I don't know.
Sorry, that's my phone. It's making noises.
We haven't discussed what kind of genre.
Where is it?
Okay. We haven't discussed what kind of genre we're going to go with. We haven't discussed what kind of mechanics or anything like that.
I can easily come up with a story.
Yeah. Story. Okay, so let's focus on what kind of game we want to create. What kind do we want to do? Like miniature game, board game, chess game, puzzle game, hybrid, card game,
RPG.
An RPG game.
That was cool. I was thinking we could do something like me and Aaron were discussing something that involved both cards and the regular game, kind of like a strategy game.
I will tell you guys this. If you guys didn't look at LMS, hang on, let me go to it.
Yeah, he's got a huge list of games he does not want us
doing.
Yeah,
so this might cut your list in half. This is what he said. Your game needs to be a strategy game of some sort. Why? Because strategy games give the best overall look and how mechanics work and how they are implemented. It says, these concepts are partially restricted in this class. War games. They are class favorites. Sadly, I've seen too many. Zombie board games, collectible card games, role-playing games, story, plot, and setting, random movement, random combat, partial social games, and games that are not delegated enough. Okay, so with that in mind, he's seen a lot of role-playing games where it's like D&D and stuff like that. He doesn't like that. Which I know that kind of cuts, like, I think everybody cuts their arm off, right? Collectible card games, he doesn't like Magic, Pokemon, or Yu-Gi-Oh! It's too...
Dang it.
That kind of cuts us off right there.
Which I think is a good thing on that one, because it'd be way too much work for us to make enough unique cards to be able to play that kind of game.
I am now in torso. I'm just a torso now.
Zombie board games, if you don't want to do these, great, but it needs to have some original mechanics. If your games plays like the commercial available games, like Zombies or Zombicide or Walking Dead or Last of the Night, then that's a loss of 20 points automatically on the focus worksheet and the rest of the project. So if we do a zombie game, it has to be completely different from anything that we already know. And war games, yeah, he pretty much does not like them whatsoever.
What if we add...
Okay, I just got kicked out of the call, so I missed a good chunk of stuff.
And it took me a few minutes to realize I was out of the call because I was like, there's no one responding to me.
Okay.
Because I was saying that based on the conversation that me and Aaron had, I had an idea for basically a cops versus ninja style strategy game, and I was spitballing ideas with some friends of mine to get it hammered out. So unless other people come up with ideas that I completely missed because I was out of the call.
No, we were discussing what he doesn't want to see.
Okay, good.
What if we add plants to the zombies?
We're not doing Plants vs. Zombies.
Well, we can do Plants vs. Ninjas.
No, we're not doing Plants vs. Zombies. We're doing Plants with Zombies.
Yes, cooperating this time.
They're cooperating to kill every living thing.
You don't want to hear my comment.
After that, we could make Five Nights at Freddy's the board game.
Monopoly. Do it, Monopoly.
Monopoly. Okay, that works. Let's make a Plants and Zombies Monopoly.
All right. So hang on a second. What do we want to play a board game or do we want to play a card game?
I kind of want to do a board game, me personally. I don't mind including the cards in some form or way.
Okay.
That'd
Yeah,
be really
I'd
cool.
like to say I don't mind. I would like to do a board game as well, and I am actually of the mindset I would love to actually incorporate the cards into the board game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what we're in agreement with? We want to do a board game, so we know exactly this is where we're going.
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna do a board game, starting with that.
A board game is a little bit easier to conceive than a card game. Card games usually take a little bit longer.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry guys, give me a second. My dragon's over here acting a fool, running around everywhere.
Not all card games, though. I mean, some people really made some really elegant card games, like Uno.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, yeah, just like Uno, yeah.
Or black.
That and there's the DeviantArt card game.
You guys don't always have don't when we think of card games, don't think of like, poker or something like that. Think yeah.
Magic the Gathering, one of the most complicated card games in existence.
Yeah, he doesn't want that. Holy shit, no.
If we do a board game, right? If we do a board game, I mean, we do got dice with our set here.
Yep.
We can incorporate instead of like actually playing cards, we can use them. Let's say like how Monopoly, you have properties.
Yes.
And cards are pretty much your properties, and let's say, what other game? I mean, you get the idea. Like, it would be like an effect. It wouldn't really be like.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. That's actually what I would like to. What I was thinking of a good idea is that the cards aren't actually something that is. It adds a level of interesting to the. Adds a level of difficulty to the game, but all it is just an effect, like a property or something you draw.
Kind of like an attribute, basically.
Yeah, like an attribute.
Okay, exactly what we were discussing earlier, right, Peter?
Yep.
Okay.
I can't find my pineapple juice.
Oh my god, the amount of disappointment in your voice when you said that.
I love my pineapple juice, man. I'm a full blown Puerto Rican, and you can't mess with my pineapple juice.
The lizard stole it.
Probably fucking.
Okay, so
board game is fine. Definitely, I think as making its own game, it's making something like Uno or something elegant that's simple enough to do in its own right without making hundreds of cards. I think it's really, really difficult to find a sweet spot that can do that. I mean, very few games have gotten popular on that kind of basis.
Yep.
So for us, in the limited time that we have, it might be better to do a board game. Let's not try to force using cards in our board game, though, because that is adding a dynamic that is more complicated, and it might be more difficult for us to test it, to produce it, to do everything else that we need to do. I mean, if we can, by all means, let's do it. But like you guys were saying, attribute something that's probably something that could be pretty cool and relatively easy. But we do have to balance how hard it is,
how it works. Yeah.
So let's keep it in the back burner.
I perfectly understand what you're saying. I am all for the idea of using the cards, but of course, as a DM for Dungeons and Dragons, Hackmaster, and a couple of others, I know how hard it is to actually make sure an item or an attribute is not so broken that it just makes the game unplayable or makes the game unfun or what have you.
Yeah, and
so I'm perfectly okay if we put the cards on the back burner and just have them there as an idea, and if we have the time to incorporate them, I'm full for it. If we don't, then it'll just be dropped, as many things do during playtest and development. Some brilliant ideas that come up for the game never actually happen because they couldn't work it in.
Yeah.
Something else? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I just had another game that really incorporated the cards really well. Clue.
Oh yeah, Clue is really good with incorporating cards.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty much doing like a puzzle-esque kind of game, and you have your.
Just remember, Malave in the library with the Kamehameha.
I thought it was a spirit bomb.
I mean,
something like using cards as a substitute to dice, or something really simple like that would probably be.
I think you make dice a key part of the board game. It's just how would it move about if we didn't have dice?
By using cards.
Yeah.
By using cards, yeah. By that point, we would move. Cards are going to be your basic element of movement. if we removed the dice.
Yeah, because I mean, at that point, we could have like a card that's Shadow Sneak, move 3 spaces.
He doesn't really want random movement, so do remember that. Keep that in mind.
That's what I'm saying. We should hit with the dice as movement. It's not necessarily random because it has a pattern that it follows. Scientifically speaking, I'm not gonna go into it, but whatever.
No, yeah.
And
The reason I was saying, like I was saying, like we could use the premise of the cards, like as a kind of like premise of like there was never like too much movement, like it's like a set number between like certain cards give like 1 movement, and we have it stated so it's not completely random. But of course,
wait, movements, and we don't even have a game set up yet.
Yeah, so. that's why I think we're starting to get off a little off topic now.
Yeah, we're actually talking about mechanics of the game.
Yeah, we're not talking about a game in general. So let's get back on topic. Let's kind of go about. All right, we want to go with a board game. So now thinking of a board game, what kind of game are we thinking? Because we can't do war. We can try to do zombie, and we can't do collectible card game, and RPGs are kind of out.
Wait, hold on. I don't know. Like, I'm looking over into the zombie board games that you have here displayed. I actually don't know what zombies, Zombicide, I mean, I know what The Walking Dead is. I don't know if he's referring to the actual show, and I don't know what kind of game, board game, or whatever the hell, or Last Night. I don't know any of those kind of games. So,
there's a Last Night on Earth board game, and there is also a Walking Dead board game.
Yeah, they're completely different.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of playing the Last Night on Earth a while back, but I can't remember it too well because it's been a while since I played it. I've never played The Walking Dead, but my mom owns it.
This gives me a good idea, guys.
What? Go ahead, Corey.
Before we move forward, I think it's a good idea for us all to establish our own experiences with board games so that we can play on each other's strengths and experience with having multiple board games. Because, for example, I don't play board games. I have almost no experience with them. My input might not be as effective as, say, somebody else's who plays a lot of board games. So I think it's good for us all to establish how much experience and how many different board games we've all played.
Yeah.
I guess I'll start it off. All right. So I pretty much played a lot of different board games. I mastered chess a while ago. I used to do a lot of chess tournaments. So I have a lot of experiences in strategy games. I do play a lot of Monopoly. It's a really good financial kind of game to play. It gives you an idea on how to set up your finances there. What else? Damn, they're really escaping me at this point. But most of the board games I've played are usually strategy board games. If they don't relate money somehow like Monopoly does, they're either like really strategic, kind of like chess.
Kind of like Risk?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I play like a lot of Clue as well. So I got a lot of puzzle background, strategy background, and Monopoly. Fuck, you want Monopoly to be called? I guess it's a strategy game too.
That's a strategy game. You're good, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Peter.
So I have a very good background because that's pretty much what my family does. My mom is a big board game player. I've played. It's easier to think of what games I've not played than to list the ones I have played. My favorite style of games are games that make you think, strategy games. Right now, I'm really enjoying the D&D board games. Those are really fun because I like the mechanics of them.
What are D&D?
The D&D board games.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry. My favorite one out of them is Castle Ravenloft, just because I love that whole monster vampire feel. But the way they do their games is it's a build your own board type of deal, and then you basically play out like an encounter. You have a character, and you move through the dungeon kind of like an actual D&D campaign, but it's a board game, so it's kind of fun. Other games that I like, of course, are chess. I, too, used to play in some chess tournaments. I learned a lot from my dad. That's why I like games that make you think. So I'm very good at strategy games, but, of course, I can play other games. My lovely fiance loves playing Monopoly, and I hate it when she always gets a Parkway.
Monopoly is the relationship killer. You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Grandma.
But yeah, it's easy. Yeah, it's easier to say what games I've not played because I've played so many.
All right.
I can say that I have a short fuse when it comes to Settlers of Catan. That game just annoys me to no end.
All right. So what about you, Corey?
Like I said, very little. I've played obviously chess and checkers, a couple of card games. I probably played Uno at one point. A couple other card games like I'm familiar with the general rules of poker, Go Fish, War. Very, very, very well known card games. Not anything really specific. Those are probably the only ones I actually know. Other board games like Shoots and Ladders, some really basic stuff that you don't even need to know before playing. Nothing really complex. I've never played Monopoly. I don't even know the rules of Monopoly. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. There's a couple of those social games that I've played, like Cranium or Taboo. So I'm a little familiar with those, but I don't think that's going to help.
No, that's a good standpoint though.
Yeah.
It's a different version of a game, and that's what you need.
Yeah.
And in this type of class, even the most even the most basic game knowledge will help.
Yeah.
So very little though. The all of the games that I list off, largely like 90% of my experience with physical games.
Okay.
Outside of sports, obviously, but that's a completely different thing.
Malave?
Well, I've played a lot of card games and board games. Basically, for card games, I played like all different types of poker, like Wars, all that stuff, and I've played Cards Against Humanity.
That is a fun game.
It is.
I've heard it's pretty fun.
I cannot.
It is. After we're done with our meeting, we can go ahead and play. There's an online version of it.
Is it really? Oh fuck yeah! Sorry.
So awesome.
Sorry. All right, go ahead.
Okay, and I've played like a lot of strategic games like Risk, Monopoly, Cranium. Like there's this old school Pokemon game where you had to go around and collect like little chips, and now you had to roll dice to catch the Pokemon.
Really, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about World Masters. I actually own that.
Yeah, I have that too.
I got mine 25 cents at Goodwill, and it has all the pieces.
We're missing.
And believe it or not, that board game is actually worth $500 if
Really?
it's got all its pieces and in good condition. Yes,
Good.
it is actually very solid.
Peter, hate to start. Yeah, keep going, Malave.
Okay. I have like a ton of board games. I've played a lot of them. I've also played like those Scene It games where you like put in a DVD and then you like play a board game of it.
Yeah.
I have some of those. Played some of those as well.
Yeah, a lot of the Arkham horror games are like that.
Yeah. Like I got like Harry Potter and like Pirates of the Caribbean Scene It stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Corey. Okay. I'll give you a quick and down and dirty for me. I've played pretty much a majority of everything. Scenic games, card games, board games. I actually recently playing a lot of backgammon, chess, checkers. I have kids, so I have to play a lot of kids' dumb games. So like Sorry, things like that.
Apples to apples?
Yeah, apples to apples, which serves almost no purpose whatsoever.
Minecraft.
I've also played a lot of games that you probably have never really played. Like, so obviously you've played the BioShock video game, but there's actually a BioShock board game, and I actually own that, and I play the crap out of that. I used to play Dungeons and Dragons, so I know all about that too. Monopoly, yeah, fuck you, Grandma. Grandma's a cheating whore in Monopoly. So, I mean, I'm right there with you. So right now, I think we have a good basis of more board games than card games. It's just now breaking down into what kind of board game. Like you guys stated, I mean, Corey himself has some experience with board games, but it's more. Corey, do I need to say basically like like Cranium, right? Cranium is more questions and answers, and you got the answer right. Continue on, right?
I don't
Correct.
even remember how to play Cranium. I just know that
that is pretty much exactly Cranium. I've played it, so
Okay.
it's pretty much just like a question and answer type of game.
Okay. My question to you guys is, what kind? Not what game do you want to create, but what crowd do you want to achieve? Do you want to achieve family? Do you want to achieve a nerd, or do you want to achieve more for kids? Or that's what's going to be important. Is we need to look at what kind of game we're going to build for which crowd.
Nerd.
All right, so I want to go ahead and say this: family and kid-friendly games are, I feel, are going to be a little harder because we have to make sure that we censor ourselves quite a bit.
It just needs to be doled down. Yeah.
I think it's going to actually be more easier because if you make a game that's simplistic and elegant for
a child
or a family, I mean, you think about you said nerds, but people our age who play a game, even if it's a board game, they're looking for a real in-depth, compelling game. And can we make that kind of hard, difficult, complicated kind of game in 4 weeks?
Yeah, and that's what I was going to get into. Yeah,
I want to make sure that I don't know. This is just me personally. I would like us to make sure it's a game that at least we as a team would like to go back and play again and again, and something we want to show off to our friends.
I agree with that, and that's something that you want to.
That our friends look at and go, seriously, you made a game for babies. We are not babies.
No, but at the same time, that's why I said, what kind of crowd do you want to build it for? Because, Peter, you are really big in Dungeons and Dragons, man. Like, you are the Dungeon and Dragon, like, kind of guy. No, I've talked to you for 2 months now. I mean, I think I have a pretty good knowledge of saying, dude, you're pretty hardcore in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
So
I am the DM that pretty much makes up his own weapons and doesn't stick to the norm.
Exactly.
Because I've played it to where I know what works and what doesn't.
Okay, so with that in mind, you're really good at mechanics, but you're also really depth, and that takes a lot of time to develop something like that. Dungeons and Dragons it's not just very easy to create. It's easy to get kind of a story going, but to get you could sit online and create your character and take fucking hours on creating a character and getting the attributes correctly for a match.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying I don't think we should do something that complex.
Okay.
But because of that, I know how to actually make stuff complex.
I mean, and if we had a full development cycle, Peter, I would be all behind.
Yeah.
Something like that. I'd be like, let's make a really compelling experience. But realistically, I mean, we don't even have 4 weeks. You have 3 weeks to make a game. So we don't want to push ourselves too far. And what you said earlier, I respect what you said earlier about wanting to show your friends and family a game that we make. And that's great, but what we're trying to get out of this project for ourselves isn't so much something to show off to our friends and family. It's something to give us an experience of how to make a game and get proper feedback from an instructor on how we did.
Correct.
So that's another thing. Again, if we had more than 3 weeks, I would be all behind doing this. Because you're right, I would love to make a game that I would want to play. I would like to make a game that I want my brother to play and all my friends and family. But for the sake of this team, the sake of this project, we do have to prioritize.
Yep.
And that's just something to consider. Not to say let's abandon everything you're saying. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's something to consider.
And that's I wouldn't be too upset if we decided that what I would think would be a great idea for the game would be take too long to make. I'm not saying that I would prefer us to do that. To just ignore something simple and easy.
So
I'm just thinking I would like us to do something that would kind of like wow the teacher and guarantee us a really good grade for the class.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And that's what we all want.
Ultimately.
Yeah. At this point, for target audience, me personally, this is Miguel. I don't know if anybody remembers.
Yeah, I understand.
Pineapple juice guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, um,
No, my apple juice.
so at this point, I would like to make a game that's more targeted to an older audience, someone of our age, if not a little bit older. I'm not saying let's make a porno. What I'm saying is I'd prefer to make something that I can work with and I'm not restricted with. Because
Okay.
me as a developer, and I don't know about you guys, but me personally, I don't want to be making kiddie games. It's not that I have a problem with it. It's just that my ideas and how I'm going to be able to work is not with a game that's going to be targeted at a younger or even family audience. I'm going to have way too many ideas for a game that's targeted at older folks.
So you want to hit a bracket between 20 and 30, or 20 and 40.
At that point.
All right.
What I was saying earlier about censoring and all that stuff, it wasn't to say that targeted for. What I was saying was making it accessible for other people. With
Correct.
the idea of accessibility, making it in a way that it's simple and it's elegant in the sense that it covers everyone, but it doesn't alienate anyone. That's what I was saying earlier. So I wasn't saying like make the wordage and the coloring and all these other things kiddie. Definitely not. I would probably vomit all over it. But I also don't want to be like extreme metal war with people dying left and right. All these words that are huge.
And that's actually a little bit of what I was trying to get into as well. Is I didn't want to do something. I was more or less hoping to do something around the teen age bracket, something that's closer to a lot of our ages, as well as something that we feel comfortable working with.
Correct.
And something that we don't have to basically, too badly censor ourselves. Basically, not do something that's basically, basically like what was said. Basically, not a porno and not something that's Sesame Street. Something that's a more comfortable medium for everybody.
Correct.
Here's an example. The superhero fiction is very accessible for a younger audience, but it's also interesting to people our age. And you can make it in a way that the wordage and the coloring and all these other things are available for a lot of people. Something like that. I'm not saying you have to do superhero fiction, but that's something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with it, but I kind of wasn't example there proper.
Yeah, that was a good example, Corey. I like that.
All right, so do we have a general idea of what we're doing? I mean, we're all talking about what kind of game to make, but do we have even a genre? Are we going with strategy? Because at that point, it seems like that's our team's biggest strength.
Yeah, in all honesty, we're going to have to do something with strategy.
Yeah. And seeing as how most of us have experience in strategy, I think that would be our best bet. And it's on the teacher's okay list.
Yeah, he really wants us to dive in at a strategy game of some sort. Malavi, I haven't heard anything from you lately, man. What are you thinking?
Well, I was thinking, like for a while now, I've been thinking let's put 5 Nights at Freddy's with Clue and see what happens there. Like which episode killed the security guard.
You know what? I actually like that idea a lot.
I do too, but
Actually, that's actually something I pitched to Aaron, and we were coming up with different similar ideas, and that's what I was kind of thinking. I was thinking something would be kind of cool is if we had a player who wasn't actually on the board type of deal, and they were basically like a security officer or something, trying to catch the other players and prevent them from winning, something like that.
correct.
Yeah.
Allowed you to do at least 2 or more players.
Yeah, and I was thinking that might actually be kind of cool because it's something different. It's not something that's readily been made into a board game yet, but the idea has been done in video games, but I don't think it's been done in board game form.
Not
And
really.
if it has, it'll be the first time I heard of it.
What are you thinking, Corey?
As to which part?
Do you, with the kind of combining Five Nights with Freddy and Clue, kind of mixing together.
I have no objection, but I've never played either of those games, so I wouldn't know what you're talking about.
Okay, no. That's good. That's what I need to hear. So.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to know if people don't understand what we're getting our references so that we can elaborate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of with the mechanics, kind of playing a support role on the mechanics, guys, because again, my experience limits me with that one. But yeah, if you guys have an idea of the 2 games that you want to merge and you think it'll work great, I'm all for backing up and trying to work with you guys on
You
that.
know what I think you should do? I mean, this is just optional. I think you should just. I'm not saying go buy it, but YouTube is a really great tool.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up right now.
Oh,
Watch
Yeah,
Markiplier.
and I think that's the best way to see it. And I think someone was about to say the person I was about to recommend, which is Markiplier.
Yeah. Yeah, Markiplier.
I think you'll get the best reaction from him because the game really freaks him out.
Is it a video game or a
Five
Fortnite?
Nights at Freddy's video game.
So 16%
Clue
power.
is the only one that's a board game.
Okay, so you're talking about mixing the mechanics of a video game with the mechanics of a board game.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's what I was that's what I was saying is that it's something that's never been done. Is something that's solely a video game that you've seen the mechanics, kind of like the Five Nights at Freddy mechanic. You've only ever seen that in a video game. To actually make a board game would be unique
Door.
and interesting, and I think it might
don't fucking
take a
care.
lot of people by surprise.
The door got closed.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I just
I'll take a look. I take a look at that on my own time.
Yeah.
it's kind of-
okay, because I just posted you a web location. That kind of helps a little bit of reference.
okay.
All right. So is this an idea set in stone, or is this something we're just because I mean we're pretty much just wasting more time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think we're just trying to brainstorm and get to a cohesive point, but yeah, the mechanics of going into this, the idea, I like the idea. So if we could figure out a way of creating this right here, right now, then this will be our game. We just have to figure out a way of implementing it and a name for it that's not Five Nights at Freddy's Clue.
I can think of
Because then we have to do the whole copyright thing. It says Five Nights at Freddy's belongs to so and so, and Clue belongs to so and so.
Well, what we will do is we won't take the actual characters or storyline or plot, or we'll do something relative to the concept, but not the concept. Because
Yeah, we're not taking the
That's
IP or
not
anything. We're not
copyright.
using any IPs.
No.
Ooh.
What we want is animatronics, but not like Bonnie, Freddy, and Foxy and Chica.
you know, at this point, we don't even need to use animatronics.
We
We can use actual creatures or murderers at that point. It doesn't have to be these robots.
I just thought of something kind of cool.
You guys got to remember. Yeah, hang on, because we're starting to think. We're starting to think kind of big here. Did you guys look inside your guys' game box?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. If this is what the teacher has, right, and he's like, "Hey, make a game with just this stuff," are we going to be able to do that?
I
You can
think we
add
could.
tokens. I know that.
I know we were given quite a bit of tokens, and
Yeah, we have quite a bit.
the rules state that we would have, if we added anything, we have to make sure it's accessible to everybody. Whether it's instruction sheet to print off or a card list to print off, and
Yeah.
everything that we do has to be typed up in Word so that it can easily be printed by anybody or viewed by anybody.
Okay.
Sorry, I was after I saw the grade and what the teacher was saying, I kind of went back and reread everything that he gave us.
No, that was a good thing that you did that.
He gave us some marbles, which I assume are our tokens, but to be perfectly honest, this isn't going to work with the type of game we're going to be making.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, I was actually thinking they would work kind of fine because we've got one person who doesn't move, which means he could be one of the tokens. And if we have, say we have 5, I'm going to say animatronics, even though because we're on that path. Say we have 5 different animatronics, we can have them represented by the tokens, and basically the person who's trying to defend doesn't even have to have a token.
Okay. Now,
Either that, or we could say that they're the same 5 animatronics, just a little bit different. Like maybe instead of animatronics, have like zombies, and there's 5 zombies. In which case, we only need 1 color of token to represent the zombies, or say we have 4, because I know we got 4 different tokens. So you just have 4 instead of 5, and then at that point we just represent them with the different color tokens and say token whatever.
Yeah, I think.
This thing.
See,
Although I don't know what color tokens that everybody has because I don't know if everybody got the same one. Because I know I got white, black, green, blue, and root beer.
I've got root beer. I didn't get black. I got white, blue, green, and root beer.
Okay, so apparently we each got
green and
Yeah.
So apparently we each got different tokens. Did we all get black and red dice?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so apparently the tokens were random. Oh, and did anybody randomly get a set of plastic tokens? Because one of my set is plastic, even though it says they're all supposed to be glass.
Yes.
Okay. So I wasn't the only one that got a random plastic set.
Correct. Okay. Well, something that I'm thinking because just off the wall, if we're thinking about combining games, in all honesty, has anybody played the stupid game? Sorry.
I played Sorry.
Anybody else?
I used to be the Sorry Master as a kid.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's an easy concept of a game. You know, basically draw a card or roll a dice, move so many pegs. If you hit somebody, you knock them off the board, and then back to their home. What if we did something kind of I'm throwing something out there,
Yeah.
kind of mixing Cranium and Sorry together in an adult version?
But like with questions and answers and stuff like that.
Correct. It's a little bit easier. Now we have tokens, we have something that's based off of a map or using our little drawing pad. It's an easy layout. We could do a maze of some sort if we need to, and then we have cards to print out actual questions and answers for.
How many questions and answers are you wanting to have?
How many questions and answers are you wanting to go?
104.
Not hundreds like Cranium.
No, like we have 50 cards, right? So why don't we do 50 questions and then 25 of something else, and then maybe if we need to do another 25 questions, we can.
Well, we got a pack of those.
I have 100 cards.
What was that?
I have 100 cards.
Yeah, so do I. That's what I'm saying. We have 100 cards. I'm saying we could dick around with 50 of them, leave 25 if we want to add something else to the game, and then leave another 25 for more questions if we need them, because we feel like they're not enough.
Okay, I just heard questions are not enough. I just got kicked from the call again. It's a good thing I'm on my way home.
Yeah, you need to get on your computer, brother.
Yeah, my phone. I keep hitting spots where my phone loses signal, and so then I get kicked out.
Damn.
What did you say before that about questions?
I was like, we got 2 packs of 50, right? For these, right? We could theoretically, if we did something like that, you could do 50 questions with answers, right? And then do 25 with, an extra attribute that you want. Anything like nuke somebody or whatever and blow them off the map. Just something fucking stupid. With, special locations and everything else like that. And then an extra 25 if we need to come up with more questions. Because it's not enough. If we don't get enough playthrough through it, then we can go, oh shit, we got to make more questions for this.
Do we want to put that on ourselves, though?
What do you mean?
What happens if that problem comes up in the last half week of the month?
But that's the point of playtesting, right? I mean, we would want to playtest it and go, okay, hey, this doesn't work. We can adjust it real quick. We can add another 5, or we can add another 10 real quick, and we already have a list. So what I'm saying is we can make a list of 75 questions and then only take 50 that we really like. And then we have a backup of 25 if we really wanted to.
Like a question of what happens when you mix Axe body spray and the blood of Jesus. You get Batman.
Yeah, stupid shit like that. Or, or, I don't know, did George Washington really chop down a cherry tree? Things like that. If you want to mix Cranium or Sorry, I'm saying, at that standpoint, we're now not getting into overindulged, crazy type of ideas. Maybe this is something we can go with something a little bit simple and then add our own flavor to it. I'm just spinning. I'm just spitting ideas. I mean, I'm just trying to help.
We can do that. I'm just a little skeptical on the questions and answers thing. Is all. I'm just a little skeptical. If you
What do
guys
you mean?
feel like we can do it, I'm all for it.
What do you mean? Well, what are you skeptical about? I'm just curious.
It's just because it's content. You have to making 50 questions. It sounds easy when we're just planning it out, but the questions are probably going to be themed. So if we have a theme and a story for all of our thing, we're gonna have to think of 50 questions for that theme. All the questions are going to be different. All the questions are going to have to be expected for most players to know. So there's a lot of little criteria that go into it. So can we do that? Also, if we can, how easy will it be? How much time will it take? Who's going to do it?
If we do superhero theme, we would have to have a general theme to make it a little easier, like superhero horror or something.
So
what
what about comic and video game theme?
What if they were true and false questions?
What if they were a mixture of true and false and multiple choice?
That would make it even easier as well. Like, a question is, who is Batman? Bruce Wayne, the Joker, Catwoman.
Let me comment on that. If we do any knowledge-based questions or referential questions, whatever we reference, we're also going to have to cite. That's a lot of citations. So
true.
That is true.
If we do knowledge-based questions, like logic-based questions, we have to form enough that are also themed, that are also going to be known by a sizable amount of the audience. Really, which is going to, for us, would be a lot of people. So that's why you guys are kind of getting why I'm a little skeptical. There's a lot of things.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing. We're just trying to spitball ideas so that we have a cohesive game to put down for this this assignment that's due Sunday.
I am not trying to be a naysayer. I'm not trying to shoot you down your guys' ideas. I just want to really flesh out these thoughts.
No, that's why I wanted to toss something else in there instead of just what we had already, because I think we were starting to get a little off of what we already have. And we were kind of going, oh, let's do this. Oh, hey, let's add this. And I'm like, okay, hang on. Let's get an actual concise idea that we want to go with. That may be simple and easier to handle.
How about this? How about we do this? Because you're talking about too many questions. I do agree with him. I don't remember this guy's name, but I do agree. I'm a lot, not just a little bit, skeptical about the situation. It just seems like a lot of work to do, especially for 6 of us. And 6 of us who aren't always on the same time frame.
Correct.
So if you change a question or an answer, you're gonna have to relay that to all of us, and that may not happen on the spot as it did with Aaron, who, as I said, was late to the mix, and then we ended up submitting our assignments anyway. So at this point, we can't really do something that large, even though it seems simple. It's really not, because there's research behind it. That's one of us has to do. Then the other people have to come up with mechanics and why would it be a questions and answer game and how we're going to implement that into a board game. I don't understand. Is it just be strictly a card game? Seems pretty boring. I don't want to sit here and answer questions that may or may not pertain to me and may or may not be interesting. Like me personally, I don't like Cranium. I just really don't care about stuff like that. I want to play something that I can relax and unwind with. I don't want to play something where I'm thinking most of the time. I love strategy games.
Yeah,
it comes natural to me. It's like second nature to me. That is more of a how do you say
trivia?
Yeah, it's trivia. I don't really like.
Okay. So, well, like I said, it was just an idea. It was just to kind of maybe spin the table a little bit.
No, definitely no. It's highly appreciated. I still feel like. You were trying to aim for something simpler, but it wasn't really right on the nail. It was a good concept. It was a good way to move things, but it wasn't necessarily an easier one. I still think we should go with something that's relative to Clue, as we were talking about. Not necessarily maybe Five Nights at Freddy's, because I don't like the whole idea where one player is staying still. Because you think of it like this: if you only have one player, the game then turns asymmetrical. Then there's also a lot of balancing that needs to go on, because you need to make asymmetrical games fair. Yep. Even though they're not fair, you need to make them. You need to have an underline that makes them fair. And that itself is going to take us more than 3 weeks to do. Game mechanics are not easy to just come up with like that. So I say something more simpler. Clue's a really simple game. A lot of people don't understand that, but it really is a really simple game. You got some rooms, you got some questions, you got some equipment, you got some things. That's it. If we're gonna do a board game, we can incorporate something like Sorry, as you were saying, where you go around a board. It makes the board mechanic easier because we don't really have to create a unique board. We can just make it go in a square like most board games do. At the same time, it's traditional and already done. It's a cliche. We don't want to do a cliche. We want something that isn't often seen because we're trying to aim for a grade here, regardless of how you think of it. We're trying to aim for a grade. So the best bet would be play off our strengths, which at this point seems to be a lot of strategy.
Yep.
And incorporate a strategy game with something that we all seem to also have, a lot of problem-solving skills. We seem to be very detective-like-esque kind of so far, since a lot of people apparently like some of these games. We can play something off our strengths. It's best to play off our strengths than to play on our weaknesses, which at that point would be like Cranium, because not a lot of us have that experience. Plus, we do have a member here who doesn't have any form of board game experience.
Correct.
So we need to make it where he's accessible to add game mechanics and also be able to take from the situation. He wants to learn. He doesn't want to sit here and be, we don't want to pull him. We want him to make his own, to carry his own weight while we all work together. And that's just my insight real quick. I know it's kind of...
No, you're dead on. Yeah. You're dead on.
And like we were talking about with Friday Nights at Freddy, if you guys decide we want to do something that's based off Sorry and Clue, I can go up and look up how the rules for Sorry and Clue work real quick. I mean, what I'm saying is I just don't have a whole lot of referential experience to pull from in terms of making mechanical design decisions. I just was saying that for a point to consider. You guys,
I just had an idea.
What you guys want to do, and then you guys are not going to pull me. I'm going to figure out what you guys are trying to do by doing my own research. If we want to do something that does include what I have experienced, like chess, I mean, if we do something a little bit like that, obviously different, but if we do something like that, that's something that everybody, not just me, but everybody who's played general board games is pretty familiar with. I mean, how many people have not played chess before? Something like that, obviously.
Yeah.
That's an example.
Alright, on the basis of strategy, right? Give me a list of strategy games that you guys all play, just real quick, like checkers, chess,
Yeah, chess, yeah.
backgammon,
Chinese checkers.
That one
I'll just drop, which is probably what you guys have never heard of.
Mancala.
Rock, paper, scissors.
That's a strategy game.
That's not a strategy game.
That is definitely
Arguable. Okay, moving on.
So chess, backgammon, Chinese checkers. What else?
Mancala.
Let's see. You guys probably never heard of it, but it's Navia Drop.
What was that?
Navia Drop.
Yeah,
It's
I've
kinda like
never heard of
chess.
it.
It's got these pieces that move in a certain pattern, so it's a lot like chess, but they're different movement styles than in chess.
Random movement?
Is this chess?
I don't know. Yeah. Nava drop. Okay, so what else? Risk. Clue.
Flux is a bit of a strategy game.
Never even heard of it.
It's a game where rules. It's
What
a
was that?
strategy game where rules constantly change. It's so much fun.
Somebody said
You guys-
something else. What was that? Malava?
Scrabble.
Scrabble.
Strategy, yeah.
Strategy and knowledge based.
Dominoes.
Well, hell's yeah, I can play me some dominoes. Let's go. I'm sorry, I got very stereotypical.
What, you want to play some fucking chicken foot?
But just because I'm Rican doesn't mean I automatically love dominoes, okay?
Doesn't mean you automatically love playing some chicken foot and some Mexican train.
Domino's does make good pizza.
Corey, you got any other? Come on, give me some more.
Dungeon Dice Monsters.
Is that Yu-Gi-Oh based?
Fucking
Yes.
Peter
but
coming
it's
out with the middle of nothing with dice monsters. Really? Come on, dude.
You
Killing
go
me.
into a couple card games like
It's very
poker and
strategy-oriented. It just never made it very well in the market.
Of course.
Alright, so this is what we have so far. Chess, backgammon, Chinese checkers, Mancala, Nave drop. I don't know if anybody else knows that, but Peter. Risk.
regular checkers.
Yeah, checkers, yep. Flux, Scrabble, dominoes, and dice monsters. Did I miss any?
Let's see.
I thought I had one.
Clue. Yeah, I got Clue too.
Cards Against Humanity requires some strategy. Like, you gotta play the guy that's holding the card.
Yep.
Just read it out. So, Cards Against Humanity.
And did everybody say Risk? Because that's a very good strategy.
Yeah, I said Risk.
Does anybody know about the board game?
What do you mean?
There's an actual game called the board game.
No, I don't know anything about it. Do you?
Okay, so let's
game?
get an idea. Let's get an idea what our game's gonna be, and then we have to do research wise, and we're gonna have to play that game because that game pretty much is the basis of all board games.
Okay.
All right, and it literally, I'm not bullshitting you. It's gonna help us out a lot because it might just fuel our.
No, and that's what I said. It might actually a good, playing something together. It might actually spin some ideas. That's a good idea.
So, are we going with board game and what genre? Let's just throw this out. It seems like we are going with a board game,
Yep.
including cards somehow. So it's a card game / well, it's going to be a hybrid then at this point, correct?
Yes.
It's going to be a board game and a card game.
Yes.
So our movement's going to be diced or cards because I feel like it shouldn't be like if we're going to include cards somehow, it shouldn't be movement. It just seems too random.
No, I think it should be dice. I think
So dice
dice should be definite.
All right, so we got
Now, we have a choice. What die do we want to use? Do we want to be traditional and make it a D6? Or do we want
look
to
at it like this.
Well, hang on. That's getting kind of into what's the word I'm thinking of?
All right.
That's kind of getting
Can
into
you guys
specifics.
give me 5 seconds and not talk for 5 seconds? I need to connect because I'm at home now and I've got my computer up.
All right, go
I'm gonna
ahead.
Go off in seconds.
All right.
5 seconds. We should talk about our
I mean, you know what? I do like these dice. I think
Come
they are
on.
pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I got these dice. I want to fucking use them.
I know, me too. Like, I have a 12 loaded die. I totally want to use this.
Like,
And
I
a
feel
20
like a
loaded
true nerd.
die.
Like, I feel like a true nerd right now, and I never felt that way.
I have to say this, though. These dice are actually the very first set of dice I ever had, and I wore them and lost them, and I'm so happy to actually get this color scheme again because they were my very first set of dice.
They are pretty flippin' awesome. I mean, I will say that.
It's just like nostalgic. It's like, oh my god, these are my original dice that I had when I first started playing D&D.
Okay,
Oh my god, I'm so happy.
so,
All right. So let's see. We're doing a card game.
We're-
Just basic fundamentals.
yeah.
We're doing a board game. It's gonna incorporate cards depending on how we do that. Yet that bases on the mechanics. That's later on after we start getting our game in check.
Correct. We know we
Movement
want to
shall
use
be
dice.
dice-based.
Oh,
So-
heck.
What's up?
Sorry, I just got an email that they're bringing back Legend of the Five Rings, the card game.
All right, hey, you're kind of getting us off topic. You're killing me.
Sorry, I just saw I had that email.
Okay.
Anyways, so board game. Cards will be infused. Don't know yet how that'll fit into the mechanics portion once we actually get to that part.
Correct.
And movement, it's dice, which is also another mechanic. But at least now that we got that form down, it dumbs down what kind of board game we're gonna make.
Yep.
Now, is it going to be Clue-esque, or are we trying to make something unique? Like, what are we? That is the aim here. What is the kind of board game we're trying?
I think and the reason why I was coming up with I was like, give me a list of strategy games, right? The reason why I wanted to do that is because we started doing this, where we started taking Clue and mixing it with something else, or we're taking, let's say, for instance, let's take Mancala and mixing it with fucking Flux, just random shit. We were starting to do that, and I kind of liked how we were doing that because it was something that it was something that we know, and we were combining it with something that we can make it a little bit different.
Okay, so it seems like Clue is going to be our basis here, huh?
You know what? In all honesty, I think it's ending up that way.
It really seems like everybody's leaning towards this unintentionally. It seems like that's what we have our heart set on, and that's what we have our mind set on. So we can do this. We're going to make a game that's esque, and we're going to combine it with something else that we all know.
Everybody know Risk, right? Except, I know, Corey, I know you're saying that you kind of really don't, but everybody else knows Risk.
Yeah, Risk is kind of fun. My Risk is better than everybody else's because mine is Risk God Storm and mine has the Pantheon of the North Gods.
Mine's Star Wars.
Doesn't matter. What about a Clue plus Risk? Yeah,
The only thing
you're a
on that
nerd.
is Null. I actually don't know what Risk is.
You don't know what Risk is?
No, I really don't.
I thought you did know. Oh, okay. My bad.
No. Everybody was talking. I didn't want to cut anybody off, but I really don't know what Risk is.
Okay.
Since you guys no one knows Navia Drop, I want to show you my one of my Navia Drop pieces.
Figurine. It's anime based. I like it.
Yeah, it's anime based, and like I said, it's got the printed movement of what they do right there on the dial, so you actually see how they move, and it's really kind of cool because you got all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, and like I said, it's basically chess. This is the board.
Gotcha.
It's basically just chess, just with a different mechanic than regular chess.
Yeah.
Because some of these pieces have abilities. Like, one of them actually becomes like a living trap and stays completely on the board, and anything that moves around it automatically gets taken.
Interesting.
So it's kind of interesting, but of course it takes its spot. So if you were strategic enough, you can move the trap off the board completely. Anyway.
No. Wait. Hang on a second.
Yes.
What if we...
Databout.com. I'm going.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I mean, Mikhail's got he's got a question mark on it. To be honest with you, hang on a second. To have the characters set in a parameter is not a bad idea, and we could use that in a kind of in a Clue-esque if you really think about it.
Because I'm just saying this
doing some type of detective work, but then setting up traps. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, this game is really kind of well made.
Hang on.
It just never made it mainstream. I still have all of my pieces for it. My best friend Frank has his. There was basically 2 starters, and I got one just because I kind of like the chick with the bird and her pieces. And my friend got another one who had a...
Go ahead, Corey.
She had a flower.
Go ahead, Corey.
I just want to interject for a moment. I'm not trying to shoot you down there, buddy, but if you're the only one that's played the game before, none of us know it might not be best to draw it from a huge kind of influence on our game. Might be best if we move on. I'm not trying to be a naysayer again. It's just we gotta
get going on this, man.
Our time, you know?
Yeah.
I know. But just to let you guys know, if we did think about doing something like this, the rules still exist online, so you could always look them up.
Okay. All right, so we do like the concept of a Clue-esque, correct?
Yes.
Clue-esque.
Sure. Yeah.
I know, Corey. I know you're kind of like, sure. I don't know exactly what Clue is, but
yeah. If that's what you guys decide, though, I mean, I'll look up the rules tonight or something.
All right, so that means we are not to corner him in the library with Colonel Mustard and the Allen wrench.
yeah, exactly. Okay, Miguel.
Yo, what's up?
So risk is kind of nice.
I'm actually just looking at it.
Are you? Okay, good. Because I kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit because it's going to base on that same type of concept, right? With what we want to do, right? So you have an actual board that's split up into multiple different locations, and the whole objective is to try to take over the whole board, right? So what if we added, let's say you have like 5 continents or something like that, just 5 islands, right?
All right.
In those islands, there's secrets to, let's say, unlock them, or secrets to, or clues to take over them, or treasures to find on them. You kind of understand where I'm going with this, or no?
I just found a place where I can play it online.
Okay.
It's on Pogo.
Yeah, Risk is on. Clue is on Pogo.
It is.
I didn't think about that because I forgot that it was on Pogo. I play a lot of Pogo. Just I kind of forgot it was on there.
You guys are like speaking a foreign language or something.
all right. So this is what we can do. Is we already set on stone that Clue is going to be one of the bases of our game.
Yep.
All right, how about this? How about we play Clue?
Like right now?
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Like an online version of it.
Yep.
Sir?
Is it relatively quick games though?
We don't
Wait,
have
do you
to
gotta get going to work?
No, it's just I have other things to do today. So
No.
we've already been meeting for an hour.
Yeah, we have been.
Yeah, it's 4:12.
So go to Pogo. Pogo. I need to make an account. Great.
Shit.
Yeah, I don't know about all this, guys.
Yeah, that's kind of pain in the ass.
There's a free one. Sweet.
You know, at this point, we're not going to play a whole game. What we're going to do is we're going to play so that Corey can understand some of the basics.
We're not setting up the mechanics right now in this meeting.
No, yeah, we're just trying to find out what game we're gonna create, and that's shit.
I mean, we haven't even started naming or genre. Well, we got the genre, but we'll the story, all that stuff is kind of separate. Mood and rhythm.
The scope.
Yeah, we haven't really been looking at any of this yet. And there's a lot.
It's not free to play. Dang it.
Yeah, there's four pages that we gotta pretty much have to go through of all these questions.
All right, let's tackle the assignment. We pretty much got like the first few things down. Let's just go ahead.
Yeah, obviously we don't have the name of the game, but it says what genre is the game? A collectible card game, miniature game. So let's do this. Let's do.
Do you have a drive set up for this already?
Yes. This is a focus worksheet template.
All right. All right, I'm in there.
Or we just want to say the game is a hybrid.
Now, I just want to throw this out there. He's not wanting to know, basically, is it a strategy game? Is it a first-person shooters board game? Is he? If that's what he wants there.
Well, we're gonna end up getting to that point. Yeah, that's what. So, the next question: what will the player do? What is the player part in the game? Yeah, so it's like that's why it's like if we don't have the game that we know how we're gonna create it, then these questions are kind of we're just sitting there looking at them, going, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
All right, so if it's Clue asks, what will the player do? The player will go around solving things.
That's why I said. So, what if? That's why I said Clue mixed with Risk, right? Your whole objective is to still take over the whole country, but the only way you can take over the whole country is by understanding or finding the mysteries of the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I said, well, Clue has a whole bunch of, riddles and stuff like that, kind of like, oh, it's over here. No, it's over here. That's why I said, what happens if we did kind of one massive country and you're supposed to try to take over it, but while you're trying to take over it, other people are trying to take over it, and they're getting different clues. You see what I'm saying?
All right. And it seems like instead of using clues, though, we could use we could change that because you're adding like a combat war-esque kind of game.
Yeah.
But with puzzle, which doesn't really sound too fun.
No, I know.
Somehow. But I know what you're trying to say.
Yep. Okay.
Which is a good idea. I'm all for that.
I'm just trying to see what other people are thinking right now. That's why because if we can understand that.
I know what you're talking about because while you were talking, I just now thought of a game that is kind of like that. It's called the Dread Pirate. I actually own it. It's made by Front Porch Games.
Shit. So what you're telling me is that there's something already out there.
I just remembered that there's something similar.
You're killing me.
Granted, I don't think we want to have a deck of cards this thick.
No. Maybe. I don't know. We don't know. We might.
We just want one card. That's it.
But yeah, the goal of the game is to become the Dread Pirate. So you're trying to collect stuff to turn your little ship into a pirate ship.
Got it. But what if it wasn't? What if it wasn't a ship? What if it was? You're trying now instead of ships or whatever. It's being a warlord or something like that. Is there something like that out there? I don't know.
No, nothing for a warlord. Dread Pirate is unique just because it is actually the only game, and I completely forgot about it. It's been sitting. I've been using it mainly as a decorative piece because this is the box it goes in. It's a chest.
Nice.
So I completely forgot about it.
So, Miguel, since you know that what I'm kind of getting at, what are you thinking about it?
I'm thinking if we're gonna do what's your idea. I don't know any real games like that. There's one game that comes to mind, but it has to do with like France, and it's not necessarily in the scope that we're trying to do. Also, it's not asymmetrical because that game's only a 2-player game. We're trying to make it so at least 4, not more, people can play at this point. It just seems to add more depth. So.
That's something we should probably figure out, is if we, for the amount of players that we want to make our game, do we want to make it 2-player, 4-player, multiplayer, what?
Well, we were saying that we wanted to do at least 2, and then if we could do more, we can add more. Where it's a 2-player game, but it can turn into a 3 or a 4-player game.
But you have to you understand the importance of establishing that now, right, before we
Correct.
can get into mechanics?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like so what's everybody's just on that?
I mean, for me, really, all I care about is that we establish it now. I mean, it could be 2-player, 4-player, multiplayer.
So
The thing
multiplayer.
considers if we make it multiplayer, like if we say you can play with any amount of players, we have to consider that that's going to affect how we set up our mechanics. Whereas if we just say 4-player, we're designing a game for 4 players.
Yep.
But that game can't be played by any other number.
So what if we
How
said
many
multiplayer
pieces?
up to 4 players?
How many different what is it called, token pieces do we have? Like 4 or 5 different pieces?
So we have 3 different sets, and they're each different colors.
So we got white, green, blue, and the root beer.
Yeah.
So why don't we just max out with all of our pieces there and do 4?
Each player gets their own set.
You mean 3?
How do you have 3?
I only have 3 sets.
No, there's 4.
There's 4.
One to the 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. There's a small green one. Got it.
Yeah,
Yep.
the green ones are the plastic ones.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So you want to do 4 then, since you got 4 tokens to work with?
Yeah. Let's do 4.
All right, 4 it is.
And then we could always have the cards be be what you're gathering from the island. Basically, when you go on the island, you try to get a card type of deal.
Correct.
And then we need to determine how many cards are going to be on the island type of deal. Because it should always be a set number so that it's not completely random.
Well, is that that's still getting into more of the mechanics, right?
Yeah, we're not worried about that right now.
I know, I don't know.
All right, so it's 4 players. It is going to be a board game. It's going to be Risk-esque, Clue-esque, kind of.
Correct.
It's 4 players trying to take over a country.
Or multiple islands, however we want to draw it out.
I actually like that idea a lot better, like having different islands. And
Okay.
once you take them over, they'll be like kind of yours until somebody else tries to attack you.
Correct.
And that is kind of going into the mechanics, but I kind of that seems a lot more that we can play with. So I'm down with the island idea. That's a really
All right.
We could do that in a lot of different ways. We could do it to where the cards are part of the island, and once you gather all the cards, the island's yours, and the cards are like defensive stuff to prevent people from taking over your island.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
All right. So we got that down.
All right.
What's our next question here?
So the question is, what will the player do? What is the player's part in the game? All right. It's asking about the general role of the player. The fighter trying to put out fires around the city. Okay. So more on the lines of, we want to basically state right here, the objective of the player is to be the warlord over the whole country, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Over what country? Are we having multiple countries or just one?
So we're gonna have multiple islands. So should I say world then?
Well, let's say world. Our world is made up of so many islands.
Yes.
Yeah, let's just have a
You want to be the warlord who rules all those islands.
What was that, Miguel?
Everybody does.
I said if we keep everything broad, it gives us wiggle room to play with.
Yeah.
So we don't give the teacher, let's say, an exact answer, but we give them an answer enough where we can make the final game, we can adjust it as we go on.
Yeah, I agree with him. We only need to set it up as much as the story and what the player will be doing, and everything else that's outlined in the focus sheet is really asking from us.
Exactly. All right. So
Document
what is the
needs to be
player?
15 to 25 pages.
What was that?
This doc that we're working on has to be 15 to 25 pages.
That's cool. We're going to have probably enough to do that, more likely.
This document has to be 15 to 25 pages. Where'd you get that?
It's at the bottom. It's like wait, hold on. You need to create a strategy game. There needs to be enough meat for your game to fill a 15 to 25 page GDD.
It says here 5+ pages on the worksheet. I don't see that.
I don't see that either.
I'm not seeing that either.
On the front, on the like the last thing, like where he prefers like a strategy game.
That's if you do a party social game.
Oh, okay.
Was that on something completely different than what we're all looking at?
Yeah, I think so.
No, it's go to the actual page. Go to the assignment page.
Okay.
The website, whatever. And on the bottom, after you list the games that you should not have, it's right at the bottom where you.
Oh, party social.
Yeah, we're not doing those.
Yeah.
It's a 5+ page. That's what it has to be.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
you're talking about. Okay. Yeah.
So now we're all on the same topic, same page now. Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
great. All right, what will the player do? What is the player part of the game? I'm just typing something up in here, just get us going on this. Shit. Fucking, I'm sorry, my head is. I'm going off for like 3 hours of sleep, guys.
It's all right. Just put. I'll give you something.
Yeah,
Player
go
goes
ahead.
around in a series of moves or steps after rolling dice. Blah blah blah. You don't have to include that in order to capture islands or set points given
All
in
right.
order to win the game. That's pretty much what you do. Capture set points in order to win the game. It's as brief as you can make it.
I know this goes into mechanics, but I just had a cool idea because of the Pokemon game and having a rival battle if two characters end up on the same place.
Yeah, we'll consider that.
Yeah, hang on, Peter. Let us get through this, man. I know.
We'll explore that later, Peter. I'll remember that you brought
It's just
that up.
once I get started thinking about something, I come up with so many ideas.
I know. What is the purpose?
Same goes for me with characters.
Force of habit of parents making sure that everything you do looks perfect.
Okay, so story of a game. Now, going to Malave, because I know you're a big story writer on this one, man. What?
Disconnected.
Huh?
I got
Okay.
disconnected.
Oh, you got disconnected? Okay.
I'm back now.
All right. Malave, going to you, man. What is the purpose or story of a game? Can you come up with a story for it?
Yeah. It determines on how, like, is it going to be 4 players?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm brainstorming right now. I'm rubbing my temples.
Or you want that
post-apocalyptic world where someone needs to be where there's a one ruler government, but everybody wants that position.
That doesn't make sense with the islands.
Yeah.
It does. It's
Well, it could be cities. It could be cities.
Let's go Mad Max style on this.
It could be
kind of Mad
cities.
Max style.
It doesn't have to be
Except
islands. I was just saying like
it's
small, like locations where they have to try to govern over.
All right, no, sweet. Then we can do is if we do cities, we can use major cities that everybody knows. It makes the game much more appealing that way.
Yep.
Like LA or New York or Boston.
All right, so Peter, why don't you go ahead and start typing up a story for it on there then?
we'll
Or you know what, Malave, or one of you. I mean, because you guys are seeming like you guys got that.
Okay.
Okay, so Miguel,
What's up?
let's go down to the next one. So while they do the story portion of this.
All right.
So let's just keep moving and kind of scrolling along with this. What is the mood or rhythm of the game? Examples include competitive, cooperative, fast-paced, frantic, strategic, tactical, empire building, conquering, etc. All right, so obviously right there in there, empire building and conquering.
Yep, and we can also do because at this point.
What was that?
I'm sorry. I don't know. There's a lot of noise. Hey Corey.
Yeah.
You just like drowned everything out real quick there.
Oh, my bad, dude. Sorry.
That's all right. I was saying because there's several ways we can look at it really in order to add meat to this document too. We can also put it can be competitive and cooperative. Cooperative meaning you can align yourself, let's say, with another player.
Yep.
You don't have to, but you can, and this is just ways that he says here to justify why we picked those. So I'm just giving you reasons as to why we could. Fast pace, it really wouldn't really be fast paced. This is a strategy game.
No, it's gonna be slower.
It's gonna be fleshed out where you're gonna need to think. You can't just jump into a situation.
All right, so let's go. Let's go with that then. Let's. Fucking hell! Let me get up there. There's this in black.
All right, you can start with the empire building and conquering because those are obviously the key focal points. And I don't know why I said key because focal point pretty much emphasizes that. I'm sorry. That hella G.
What is that?
It's a G. That's a G, dude. That's not a Q.
Oh, whatever.
You had it right the first time. It's just I'm sorry.
I told you, man. I'm bad at spelling.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
Conquer.
Take out the E. Take out the E.
You're fucking killing me. Thank you, Peter.
You're welcome.
Don't worry, I got your back here. I got your back.
All right, so let's start from. Let's go into the reasons why.
Okay, why is it
Do we have
conquering?
more islands, or do we want to?
All right, so
don't emphasize mechanics. We'll have more than 4 islands.
Let's just go ahead. I will cut that out. Yeah. So we'll just say we can just say split the country into islands.
don't even say islands. Say cities.
Okay, city.
Say sections. Don't even say
Sections.
cities.
Yeah, there you go.
Mega sections. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay, conquering different sections in order to gain control of the board. You can write this whichever way. I'm just kind of trying.
No. You're helping me out, man. After 3 hours of sleep, this is helping me. Conquering different sections.
Conquering different sections on the board in order to pretty much gain supremacy at this point in order to win. Because I feel like, and this is just to toss like a game mechanic, really, and it's just just let me know if it sounds bad. But I feel like the person who, let's say, dominates more than 3 sections can use. Let's say this incorporates the card, so this is something that we can incorporate.
Yep.
Let's say you control like three or more sections. You can use a specific kind of card that allows your army, blah 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 blah, to like let's say double or strengthen, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of like a like StarCraft.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. conquering different sections on the board and gain supremacy to win. We also need to figure out how we're gonna win, but we can do that later as well.
Yeah, we'll that gets more down deep into the mood of it. Okay, so the game
Empire building.
It does have to do with story though.
Empire building.
Let's see.
You're pretty much trying to build your own government at this point.
We could have the story as out of the chaos, four rival warlords emerged, attempting to rule all.
Sorry, I forgot to mute myself.
Writing.
Just put it in there, man. You don't have to. Just put it in there, dude. I'm thinking now.
I was just giving an idea. Somebody else was talking, so I didn't wanna.
Nope. The old world.
Do we really need this area? Mega, huge, large section. Isn't he gonna tap us on grammar for that?
Yeah, he is. Come on, man.
I don't know. I was just trying to be funny.
And I will be looking through all this to just grammar and everything since I didn't really do it last time. It's kind of on me.
No, you're good, man.
Explain competitive.
Yeah, I was gonna say we want to go into the competitive mode for it. So, competing against other players to try to stop them from taking over your world or from taking over your city.
How do you spell VAST?
VAST.
Okay.
Whoa! What happened?
Nuclear
Of the
apocalypse.
Doom world in order to ensure
What happened with what I was? What's going on?
You just changed the
tactic
font.
that the testicles can be seen from afar. Wait.
I'm sorry, I didn't know what to put for competitive, so my mind wandered.
Competitive gameplays incorporate
Out
the
of the
penis
chaos.
in the end of time.
Oh. Rose 4 warlords to rule it.
Okay. Competitive.
Competitive incorporates not pirates.
Whoa! What happened to my? Hold on.
I also did not put an A in there. Donuts. Is that good or bad?
Hang on.
But the
Competitive
United States
incorporates
suffered
funding.
a massive earthquake that split the country into sections of vast land. Yeah, that looks good. Out of the chaos, 4 warlords arose to rule over it.
Can I name the 4 warlords?
Can we, yeah, name the warlords. Yeah.
Billy
Alright.
Ball.
No, I got really cool names.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'll just list them and you let me know what they look if they like. Obviously me. Are these too weird for the United States? Timothy.
Tremendous.
Some guy called Xbox 360. We don't know why.
And y'all played BioShock, right? Sinclair?
Yes.
Yeah, one of our warlords has to be Sinclair.
Okay, so I mean, we've got that. So I don't know. Do you guys think we need more for the story?
Yeah, it needs to be a paragraph.
Make it 2 paragraphs just so we can have chunk on this.
Okay. I just kind of like the little statement of who will be victorious. I like that. Who is sitting here playing with stuff? Oh, okay. Let's see. So we need a little bit more.
I'm in my thinking mode. Thinking mode.
Jimmy Fallon. Seriously, Jimmy Fallon. Falloon. Jimmy Fallon.
Give me a third name.
Cry. Call him Cry.
K-R-Y instead of C-R-Y?
K-R or C-R-Y, either way.
It
No,
could
we'll
just
do
be.
KRY.
It could be Max. It
Make
could
it
be
unique.
Max.
We'll make them unique.
Cry.
Also, game mechanic. I'll include into the notes here. I won't even really say it. I'll just include it. And you guys can read it over, see if it's...
I don't think it
Actually,
works
that
story.
does kind of sound cool. They'd each have their own special ability. Maybe one's a thief. Maybe one's good at combat.
One's insane.
One's a pyro.
Yeah. Randomly. Yeah, all these ideas for mechanics
maniacs?
are popping into my head for this. Okay. I'm not sure what else to put.
Cry's the maniac, I say that right now.
Yeah, Cry's the crazy one.
Yeah, see the YouTube channel.
The player will... Okay, what do you think of that? The player will find themselves alone in the fight to take over the areas on the board, or they can align with other players to take down other they can align with other players to conquer.
Yeah, I think this part that you're writing, Miguel, needs to go like after the United States suffered a massive earthquake part, and then Dix. Put that somewhere too.
All right. Say dicks.
He did. Then he erased it.
You know what I was thinking? I know this is mechanics, and I know this is going to go on cards, but we're talking about doing alignments, right? Where we other players can align themselves, right? I'm thinking that there should be a card in place that allows them to do, an alignment for 5 turns or an alignment for, you know what I mean?
Now, what do we got here? Who's typing?
Miguel's typing.
I'm trying to make a story. Nobody was doing it.
I was thinking of one.
Actually, yeah, we were thinking. We had a good starting point. We're just trying to figure out where to go from there.
Did I mess you up by adding more content? I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. Let's see, what do we got here? The United States suffered a massive sections.
The world's country.
The government failed.
Well, the entire world fell. It wouldn't just be because if the United
Wouldn't-
States fell,
yeah, it'd be the world.
China's government also fall as too because their
Yeah,
government.
so that should be that. We should replace the United States with the world.
No, we're gonna leave
Oh.
it in the United States, but just to be statistically correct with this, if
The world fell.
were
Yeah.
to fall, if the United States were ever to fall, every other country would fuck up. One, South Korea would be taken over by China and North Korea. Japan would have nobody to fight alongside them because they're allied with self and they don't have a major military like we do. China's fucking economy is fueled by the United States economy because we buy everything from fucking China. So if we fall, they fall automatically.
Okay, where's this? Each warlord's unique has its own.
I added 2 names to the rough draft, to the warlord names rough draft.
All right.
Okay, there's a section here, right here.
Princess
What-
Bloody
right-
Face and the
Writing
Duke.
that. I'm in the middle of that right now.
Okay, because that's being put before out of the chaos for
The Duke.
warlords rose
Really?
to rule over it. So wouldn't that need to be after it? The
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
warlords?
You're right, my dude. You're right. Hold on. I got you. I got you. There you go.
The Duke Nukem. Perfect.
I like the Duke. I don't like the Nukem.
I don't like the Nukem either.
Yeah,
I like the Duke though. That's Duke. That's Duke. That's dope.
the Duke. He wears an eye patch and some cool stuff like that.
Because we're talking about, well, why can't one of the warlords be from a different country?
Because this is America, and we only
Blood
follow
starved
Americans.
What, you didn't like my Princess Bloody Face?
Then again, this guy's Asian. This guy's Caribbean. This guy is English.
Well, the Duke is like what? Anything?
That guy's just white. That guy's just white. He's
Native American. The Duke is British. The princess is English again, because it's like, come on. God, I got this. I got this. His special ability will be to mispronounce every word in the English language. I eat a good food. Good food I eat. Sir, I can't understand you. You no speak English.
You buy fried rice.
I'm sorry, was that racist?
A little bit. Just a smidge.
Just a little bit.
Kind of typically in Conquering Land. And Empire Building, conquering different sections.
See, I added. Look, you guys used what I added. That's great. You guys can use this, but I mean, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm gonna go back to the bottom, help out over here. So, are we done with the mood and rhythm of the game?
No, did you see what I added about the?
But you don't like my butt out of the chaos?
No, what? No, I'm sorry.
You prefer having it just out of the chaos?
Out of the chaos. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you see what I said? The player will find themselves.
I was trying to figure out if butt out of the chaos would be good or not.
Okay.
The thing is that this should be at the very end, and since we need to make at least 2 paragraphs, this should be at the very, very end.
What is?
The out of the chaos rules 4 warlords to rule over. Who will be victorious?
Yeah, that needs to be at the end.
At the very, very. That is like the last sentence.
Yeah,
that whole sentence is out at the very end.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That whole sentence needs to be at the end, but we're still typing the other part of it.
Duh, Goku wins.
Can we make this an anime game? Can we have Ichigo?
Heck yeah.
The Nine Tails, Goku, Broly,
Probably.
one guy from Tenjo Tenj. I forgot his name. He was an ass. I mean, he was great.
As long as Gurren Lagan's in there, I don't care.
Not TTGL will be too OP, and then we're gonna have to send Goku, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku in there. Cause Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan has blue hair now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm a Dragon Ball Z fanboy.
Then we have to put in Deadpool because he can't die.
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan has blue.
I like to watch the versus battle from Bat in the Sun. The next battle I can't decide who to vote for.
Strategy.
Because it's Joker and Harley versus Deadpool and Domino.
Deadpool wins.
I know! It's like, I don't know who to vote for, but Deadpool will win because Deadpool will, just throw them out of continuity.
Pacquiao. I'm sorry, we're not talking about that fight.
Yeah, we're not talking about that fight.
That fight was so rigged.
It was.
That fight was so... God damn, I don't care what anybody says, but Mayweather got his ass whooped that fight. He did nothing.
Someone at work told me that technically he did because Mayweather is a defensive fighter and he did what he does best and he defended.
That's not fighting though.
Strategy. Okay. Strategy.
That's not fighting at all.
If you listen to Confucius or whoever it was who said it, what was it? A fight.
He's a technical fighter. He's not a defensive fighter. And you can't be a defensive fighter because there's no such thing as fighting in a defense stance. You just don't. Like there's different mechanics or stances when it comes to battle, but you can't attack and be in defense at the same time. That does not work. There's no probability for that. It just doesn't make sense.
I saw a fan art of
it's like fucking hell.
It was like Mayweather hugging Pacquiao. It's like saying, Pacquiao senpai.
Alright.
Weird.
Pacquiao senpai noticed me.
Alright, come on, get back on. We're getting a little off topic now.
What are you doing here on the bottom?
I don't know. I was thinking of something and then I totally
This
lost
game is
it.
more strategy and competitive game. It will incorporate.
Yeah, I'm thinking about adding this up here.
It will add different schemes of strategy,
Corey, are you still with us?
and
Yeah, he's here. He's typing.
we'll add different schemes of strategy and gameplay that will maximize the in-depth game mechanics. That's all I can really add to your statement there. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was, in all honesty, started writing down here, so then I can add it to. I didn't like how it started. The mood of the game is competitive, local. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, then you can just pretty much add these 2 sentences.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Yeah.
What will the game include? Mention how many pieces you plan to have.
Multiple.
Multiple. I mean, I'm about to count up these tokens, just because, why not? Give a number on each of the cases.
So
If it says 20 or more, it doesn't even say. It doesn't even give you a number.
20 or more.
Huh. Okay.
So I'm thinking maybe we use 3 different dice.
I like that idea, and we can use the different dice for like different scenarios.
Yep. I'm saying use the 12-loaded die to move characters around. Or you know what? Use the 12-sided die as attacking. Use the 6-sided die for movement, and then use the 8-sided die for.
Would that be random combat?
No.
Because you're determining it with a dice, which is random.
No. Combat. So in Risk, if a player comes into the area, right? If the player comes into the area, you're now competing for that small area.
And you have to defend with dice.
Yes.
In Risk, it's all these 6s, but since
It's all. Yeah, in Risk, it's all about how many players can you move into that space, and then if you have, so let's say you have 2 players in the space, right? And then you have and then you invade with 3 players. You just knocked out 2 of your players and 2 of their players, and you're now holding that area with 1. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm saying, instead of doing that,
Afterward, after we're done with the assignment, can we go ahead and play?
yeah, we'll play. So what I'm saying is, let's say you have 3 players in an area, right? And someone invades with 2 people. I think instead of that, you should be able to roll a dice and be like, all right, this guy's facing this guy. I roll it, I land a 4. You roll it, you land a 1. I just kick that guy's ass. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a combat dice. That's a combat roll. That kind of makes sense, or no? That's why I said maybe we should use 3. 1 for combat, 1 for movement, and then 1 for treasure hunting. To find the clues or find the, you know what I mean?
Okay, so I counted up all of our tokens, and our lowest number is 20, so I think that's how much we should use game-wise.
Okay, 20 tokens.
We won't have enough tokens. The green one is the one that's limited. It only has 20, but everything else has over 20.
Okay, so yeah, let's do 20.
We can also use that. We can also give the green player a specific, a little advantage since it has less, it has a smaller army, but let's say it knows guerrilla warfare a bit better, so it knows how to attack, or it has better defense, or...
And that can be the crazy one.
Yeah, I mean, that's mechanical. It's digressing a little bit, but it's just me counting up the tokens.
No, yeah, that's smart.
But the white ones have,
cards, miniatures, boards.
The white one has 29. I might be missing one, but it has 29. The blue ones have 28, I think.
We're not going to use the sundial for anything, correct?
We have a sundial? Oh, yeah, no.
We
I
have a
don't
sand
think so.
timer.
Sand timer, sundial, they're all the same thing to me.
unless we want to make the turns timed, I don't think we would really have a use for it.
It's a strategy game, and we're not going to make it a fast-paced strategy game.
No, we don't need it.
Yeah, because I mean that
What we can use it for is a treasure hunting.
That's a smart idea. How long it's going to actually take to,
Like, you have a minute to treasure hunt, and you can roll the dice to figure out if you're able to get something, and you got like a minute to do it.
Well, Peter, you have the most experience with Dungeons and Dragons, so if someone was treasure hunting, right? How hot? If you were using, let's say we use this 20-sided dice. Let's say you use this 20-sided dice, right? If you roll the 20-sided die, how high would you want it to be where players can actually earn treasure or find items to take more over the area? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is in D&D there are difficult DCs that you have to meet, but most players have bonuses to those DCs. There are 3 types. There is easy, medium, and hard. Easy is always 10. So 10 or higher, you find something.
Okay.
Medium is 15. Hard is basically you only find it on a 20.
So what if we had...
So if we weren't going to do any bonuses to finding treasure, we could easily just make a happy medium. We could do, if we were doing a D20, we could make it, we could do a happy medium of somewhere between easy and hard, easy and medium.
Like
and
a
make
12?
It 12.
Yeah.
So on a 12 or higher, you find something. Anything below, you don't find anything.
What does everybody think of that?
And treasure would be cards.
Yeah, treasure would be... Yeah.
Treasure would automatically be cards. And those cards help give something for combat.
Well, we would have specific cards for treasure.
Yeah.
And that's usually secrets of the island or something like that. So then you can actually bypass things.
Well,
Like, you found a secret passage that leads you straight to the enemy base.
You can tie that to the winning base of the game. Like, you need to have like a set amount of treasure in order to win. Actually,
Exactly.
How would you fuel your economy if you didn't have any form of income? You can always sell your treasure to other political parties in order to get money. It's just like an end game story thing.
Yeah. And then we have, but of course, going into mechanics, we have to decide: are we making the treasure once? If it's something that's playable, are we going to have it to where once it's played, it's out of commission? Once it's played, it goes back into the pile on the bottom, or whoever played it gets to keep it and play it again.
We'll go through that. I mean, that's something that we can go through.
Yeah.
And then we're probably going to also have a card in there to steal other people's treasure.
Yeah. You always have to have a card for that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking at the story, and I think it looks pretty good, unless anybody's got any critique on it.
Let me read it. I'm gonna read it. I gotta read it. The United States suffered a massive earthquake that split the country into sections of land. After the world fell apart in the political fallout, the government of the world failed, and it was up to its citizens to rise to the occasion in order to seize control. Out of the chaos arose 4 warlords to rule. These 4 warlords rose to power in different sections of the country. Soon, each warlord began looking to the other's lands for conquest. However, each section of land is unique, and each warlord has given an advantage over their invaders. In order to seize more land, each warlord would have to learn their opponent's strengths, weaknesses, and specific qualities of each territory. Knowledge is power, and only through knowing their enemy will one warlord seize control of everything. Who will be victorious?
I have a
Players
question.
are also looking to collect items to be successful and to gain advantage of territories.
What if the land was various? Not just the warlords, but the land as well.
That's what they said in the thing here.
Yeah, but say one land has better rivers than that other area is mountainous.
Well, that's basically what's in the story.
That's
Each has its own strength, weaknesses,
In the
and
game,
specific
in the
qualities.
game, not just story.
Oh, in the actual game, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Put that on the board later.
So, coming from an artistic standpoint, I do have an idea. I actually have capabilities of getting stuff printed out in a massive scale. So, like, let's say we created a really colorful and graphical designed board game. I am actually able to take it and then get it printed and then get it shipped to you guys overnight.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Can somebody tell me what the sentence means?
Which one?
In the mood, rhythm of game.
Conquering different sections on the board to gain supremacy to win. Conquering different sections.
What needs to be explained about it?
Like, what is it? What are you guys trying to say? Because grammatically, that's kind of a
Yeah.
I understand what they're trying to say. They're trying to say...
Yeah, thank you, Peter.
So basically, that...
In the game, there's multiple sections, right?
Yeah, and the more you gain, the more power you gain, the more unique items you can get, which will give you an advantage
to
over
win
other
the game,
players, so that you can win. Gives you an edge.
Which is kind of what I just put at the bottom. I said players are also looking to collect items to be successful in the game and gain advantage of territories. That's what I just put at the bottom.
So as we go through sections, do you want to delete the orange writing?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go up here and delete what's in the story section.
If we're done with that section completely, then yes.
Do you guys think we're done with the story?
Yes.
Alright, then that's gone. No. So are we actually
who said no about that?
No one.
Oh, I thought that was you, Miguel.
No. Question: are we actually having 6 different warlords, or is that we're still spitballing about warlords?
We're still spitballing.
I say for that like they can choose which warlord they want to play as.
Okay, so we're just going to create stats for 6 warlords, but there's only 10.
Not New York. Sinclair is literally English.
He's New York English.
No, that would be New England.
English New England.
All right, so let's scroll down a little bit and let's keep going.
Because this is again another sentence. Competitive incorporates fundamental rules that will guide the players to face off one another in order to claim dominance. Sorry.
Kiss? Okay. Love you. That's probably me, dude. I don't know.
I think this is what you guys were trying to say, or something like that.
Yes. I'm gonna close my door so then you guys don't have to hear the baby crying. Hang on a second.
Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recount these for you because I know the next step is the scope. So I pretty much got my equipment here.
What's going on?
We got to figure out how many game pieces we're actually going to use.
Okay, so we said we were going to use 20 players, right, for each person?
20 tokens. Let me see which one has the least again. I just want to double up, making sure.
Okay.
My counting is correct. I'm 99% sure it was.
Okay, so we said we wanted to maybe use the 20-sided die for treasure. The 8-sided die for attacks. And the 12-sided die for movement. So that's 3 dice, right?
Yeah.
So we said we want to use multiple dice. We're going to have at least... Oh, shit. We're probably going to have, what, at least 100 cards or less?
I mean, we could do less. I mean, we've got 250 count packs. I mean, we could make it less.
We could use all of them. We could use, 30.
We could say each territory has a certain number. We could go with, we could even just say each territory has 5 treasure cards per area, and you just shuffle them up and place them on the board.
Okay. So if let's say we had 5 areas, that's 5 cards per area. That's 25 right there.
Yeah. Just not to go super over the top, so we're not looking at like 100 card deck per area and make it almost astronomical to think of stuff to put on those cards.
No, yeah.
And I mean, we could even make it even more. I mean, the idea of just making each card unique, or we could go another route and make each card unique, and so just actually write the name of the territory, like whatever area, like whatever section it is. Say these 5 cards are for this section with the name on the back of them, and you just shuffle those 5 up and sit them on it, and they're unique for that area, rather than having just a pool of different cards.
Really,
But like I said, that's getting into the full mechanics of it, and that's something we can figure out a little later. So I don't think we need that on here, do we?
No.
No, not yet. I did read though in the scope for the game tokens that we will use is we can change it, we can update it later. So just having a good idea of how much we're gonna use now would be great.
Okay, so let's go with that. Let's for right now, let's do 20 per player tokens. Let's do 50 blank playing cards. 3 dice.
We probably might need to specify,
Yeah.
just in case. He's like, well, what 3 dice?
Yeah.
So it's like 1d20, 1d6, or 1d8, and 1d12.
Yeah.
What the heck are D6 and D12? What is all that?
That's actually that's actually what you call them. Like instead of saying the
Dice
20-sided die is actually a d20. That's the actual term for it, is d20.
Oh.
The 12-sided die is a d12. You just add
I got
d
you.
in front of it.
So what will the game include?
Sorry, years of being a dungeon master, naturally assuming people know that. I swear I just heard Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger or no, Jason. I swear I just heard Jason. Is he on the call?
Yo, Jason, you on the call? No, he's not on the call.
Oh, okay, good. Until someone screams and we're like, oh man. We're down someone. Who was it?
Dude, I told you to leave your bodies in your room, okay?
Alright, so if we're going to use 20 per piece, we're gonna have
Can we always include the timer?
We were talking about it, but I think it would be worthless.
Basically, the only reason we'd even add the timer is if we felt like searching for treasure should. I think it's a 30-second timer. But then again, searching for treasure is a die roll, so it's either you get treasure or you don't. So there's no reason in timing, especially if everybody's taking their turn properly, because it's basically going to be going around. Each player takes their turn, unless we're having everybody go simultaneously, which is kind of silly.
Yeah, and if this is something that if it starts taking too long to do a move, then we could say, hey, we need to do the 30-second timer per move.
And of course, that gets into play testing. So at this point, we're just coming up with the idea. So right now, the timer is irrelevant. So
what dies are we actually using again? Are we
using the 8, the 12, and the 20.
Yep.
the 20. This one's the 8. And you said the 12?
Yep. 8, 12, and 20.
So we're not using any of the other cool looking ones.
Like the 4-sided dice?
Like the top one.
What? I mean, like there's the triangle one, but what the fuck is that?
It's a D4. D4s are hardly ever used even in D&D. There's like one attack that I know of that uses it, and it's basically just a little tiny little attack, and it's hardly ever used. So.
I mean, there's no point of using the 100 or 60 die. I mean, you know what I mean? Where it goes.
The other one is a 10-sided die and a percentile. So the two of them together make 100.
Yeah.
And there's really no sense in having a percentile or the D10. So in all honesty, I think the best ones that we should use is either a D6, a D8, a D12, and a D20 is the ones I would recommend for this game. So, but of course, if anybody has any other opinions, I'm just saying what my best opinion would be.
So 3 die. We got the D8, the D20, and the D12. We got 20 tokens each. White, blue, root beer, and green. That leaves us with some material left over, which can be added at a later point, and I'll put that here.
Yeah.
Game. Oh shit! Let me make this black. Of each color. I'll change it afterwards. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm not saying yeah. I'm reading something.
I was trying to help.
Green, white, blue, and root beer.
I'm trying to think of how I can extend this out and make it more and give it more than just the intended audience is a combination of strategy players and competitive gamers.
Do we really need more than that?
No, I don't know. I was trying to give it just a little bit more, so he doesn't go, well, what do you mean by this?
So I'm looking at the longevity of how long the game will take place. I feel like this will be like an hour game.
Yeah.
I'd go 2 hours max.
Yeah.
And I mean, we don't need a super long game.
Like Risk. Oh.
Yeah, Risk is a game that if you have a week, a month to kill, hey, there you go. There's just something to do.
Yeah, just a month. Total month.
Yeah, me and my family, I mean, we would go several months because most of my family are strategy players, and it's just one of those games that just it takes forever for me and my family to actually play because everybody's like, well, if I do this, this, and this, I can win. Unless I'm playing there's a few friends that I like to play because when I play them, it takes an hour.
But see, and that's the thing is that so you guys are super hardcore strategy gamers, right?
Yeah.
And it could turn out to be a 4 to 10 hour game or a fucking weekend or, a month. But but a lot of players that are not hardcore gamers, but they want to just goof around and, it's somewhat be challenging.
That's why I like to play with my friends over my family because my friends, I can sit there and shoot maybe an hour, 2 hours, sometimes even a half an hour. Just play the game. And
like I said, that should be like maybe an hour to 2 hours.
Yeah. And then you get those hardcore strategy people, and then it's just going to take forever.
Yeah, that's why I say strategy game players and competitive gamers is what our main intended audience is.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, well, when we're done with this, I'd love to show it to my mom and family and see what they think. Maybe if I'm lucky, she'll have a new game. She'll have a new game for family game night, and it'll be mine. or I'm sorry, our game, because it's a team effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a team effort.
What he said.
Holy shit! Okay, this is gonna be fun.
What'd you do?
Nothing. I'm looking further down.
Oh, sorry, Miguel. I thought that sentence.
I was trying to. I'm waiting for everybody to get caught up, so then we can go on for the next portion of it.
Are you guys done with everything? Where the above scope?
All right, now you can edit that if you like, but that's pretty much all the equipment we're gonna use.
Okay, I thought that the sentence was already done.
I would add the game board too.
Oh.
Yeah, game board.
Because he's gonna be like, well, what are you guys gonna play on?
Yeah, and once we do this, I say we need to at least have a good drawing of the game board because I know that not not all the other teams can actually have a nice, awesome game board that Aaron makes for them and sends to them.
No,
They at least
hang
have
on a
a
second.
diagram of what it looks like, so they can draw it on the dry erase. Dry erase.
I'm getting it.
Is your woman here? Do what? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm talking to my roommate.
Oh,
He's touching my penis inappropriately.
Fuck, I'm not.
okay.
She's bringing me the dry erase board real quick. Hang on.
Why you do this?
It's okay. There was one day I was talking with
Oh,
someone.
wait. How many cards are we using? How many?
We don't know yet. That's why we're not putting it in there.
How about I just make a rough estimation?
I said 50. I say 50.
All right, 50.
Yeah,
I'll
let's make a rough estimation of 50. If we end up using less, then we'll fix it from there. If we end up using more, then we'll use more.
15. Wait, hold on. Trying to do math right now. 15,
How about we just do 30 and we give each zone? How many zones are we gonna have?
Let's say 5. Let's say we have 5. I need that cleaned. Real quick.
Let's make it 8 zones because it feels like let's try to divide up the players like armies between sections and
Well,
make it a much more interesting game.
So here, hang on a second. Shit. Cancel. Fucking add a camera.
You were
Show my face. All right. Hang on a second. I'm ready. Once I get it cleaned.
Oh my God, Aaron! What are you doing?
Whiteboard, baby. Whiteboard it up.
You're just like raising your eyebrows. It's kind of creepy.
I get all excited when I get to use the whiteboard.
Oh, okay.
A third hand appeared.
For my wife.
Aaron has 3 hands. One of them is invisible until he needs it.
Yeah, it's attached to my wife. Yeah, get it, girl. Yeah, get it.
I was about to say something, but I felt like it would have been so rude.
I don't know why, but that statement Aaron made it sound highly inappropriate.
No, I don't do that.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you're in a relationship with people like that. You're comfortable.
When you're married for 5 years, yeah.
Oh yeah, what?
Yeah.
So the using of the cards, that's just kind of maybe we might do it at this point.
No, we have to use it. We are going to use them because that's the only way to amplify this game. Like they're our key component. It's just we don't know how many we're gonna create.
Yeah. So, and these are basically going to be the treasure cards, and they'll have different things on them. Like,
Wait, hold on. I'm assuming Aaron's making the playing field,
A little bit. Yeah.
right?
Let me get it in there so you can see a little bit. All right.
Oh.
So if these are cities, can you see that or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if these are cities, this is my thought process as an artist and as a quick field. Obviously, these are all going to be cut up.
Waffles. I like it.
no, waffles are.
They're not going to be circles. Just
They'll be squared out. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be squared out. So
is the square or the octagon side?
well, we'll figure it out. I'm just saying. So these are the primary cities, your circles and everything down here. This one I think should be a power station of some sort, right? And this could be like a fast travel or like a train depot or something like that, right?
Okay.
Where players could go, oh, hey, I own this, right? It opens up a fast travel for me to move around faster. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like that idea. Yeah.
So my thought process is, and if we could put another one down here too, where it only goes up to half the board. So, Ollie, where's the orange one, baby? There it is. So this orange one down here, right, could fast travel for these, but then couldn't go any higher, right?
Okay.
And this one up here could only fast travel to these, but nothing lower.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, but this is a single spot, and or it's a two-sided spot, and it would have to be because people are going to be constantly battling for this. That was my thought process.
Yeah, I was thinking that
What
too.
we can do, since you said battling, what we can do is we can tie one of those to a specific land. So let's say you own the top right corner.
Yep.
That belongs to the top right. So if you have that, you also have the fast travel station.
Okay.
I just wanted to remind you guys that we're probably going to have to do flow charting for everything that we want to do in this game. Just to make sure everyone's aware of that.
Yep.
Yeah, spreadsheets.
Because what I like that idea. I feel like in order to use that, you should first own the different
You
areas.
should own this whole island, basically. So, like, if it was this one, should own that whole thing, and then you can fast travel.
Then you can fast travel there, but
Okay.
you won't be able to make it all the way. Let's say if somebody owns the bottom left one. If you own the bottom right,
Yeah.
if somebody owns the bottom left, you'll only be able to move to that middle square, but then you'll have to move manually to the other island.
Okay.
Or city, my bad.
Okay. And what another thought process that came up while we're talking about that. So we're talking about fast travel, right? So what if you couldn't fast travel, right? How would you move in between the lands? I'm thinking it should be like a road, and it's a single block. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, if you're marching an army, you're obviously not going to be like, hey, I'm over here. Now I'm over here. No, I think it should be, I'm going to migrate all my people here, and then I can migrate them off.
And it'll be based off a dice roll too.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
We like that?
But we're going
Yeah,
also at the same time. We're going to be moving more than one piece because we're going to have 20 tokens. So each token will represent a unit or an army, a small army.
Yeah. That's why I said I wanted to do at least the 12 for the movement.
Okay.
You know, so, like, let's say you rolled a 12, you can now move one here, that's one move, one here, that's another move. I can move one here, that's another move. You see what I'm
So
saying?
you can split the number between your different units.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that idea too.
All right.
Yeah, that's cool.
So what I can start doing is we can start coming up with some type of art concept with this, and actually, you know, because if we wanted to do deserts and stuff like that, I kind of already have an idea of how we could do that, and kind of put put our own flair in there, kind of put like a little cheesy flair in there a little bit.
Yeah, what I like that idea. What we could do, since you brought that up, like deserts, we could have like biohazards, pretty much.
Yep.
Like on the board, like different. Yeah, how we spoke earlier, different lands are different. So like, let's say you go to New York, it's gonna be snowy.
Yep.
So maybe maybe a warlord from Miami is not gonna be well equipped to fight in New York. So he isn't, let's say, as suited. So he doesn't have the right proper equipment to like fight. So he'll be just a little bit weaker, like stuff like that.
Well, and one of the things that I was thinking, I was like, you know, what are the properties of each one? So, like, I like what you said. You said snow, right?
Yeah.
So this one is snow, but then what about this one? This one should be all green. So it's all like forest. And that's why
what is it? Like North Carolina, kind of. Like,
yeah.
'cause I live here, so it's pretty much green everywhere.
Yep, and then it's like the forest kind of taken over, and then there's a machine that you find, like one of the treasures is a machine where plants will fight against other people.
All right, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You see where, like, so I liked how we were coming up with that concept because it allowed you to actually play with the map a little bit more too.
Yeah, I like that. Sweet. And we got a pretty big board, so
Yeah.
fill it up.
One of the areas has to be a swamp. It just has to.
Dead center. Dead center.
Yeah.
I think your dead center is going to be a swamp.
Tributary.
And you know what? And you can say and if like whoever's the leader of this can say every move is cut in half. So if someone rolls a 2, right, and they're going to move this, they can only move once. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
So if they're stuck in the swampland, they can only move that character half if he uses that treasure or something like. You know what? I'm just.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah, that's the biohazards we're talking about. I like that one.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah, because that was my idea, kind of where we were going with this. So at that point. All right, so where are we?
We're down at goals and rewards because they already filled in everything else.
All right.
I just excited it by entering it. So you have a space to write.
What are the steps in the game? What is the little goals along the way? How will you reward players for their effort while they achieve the goals. Okay, so we've talked about multiple different types of goals, correct? We talked about treasure hunting, right? Rewarding players if they roll a dice for treasure. You know, that would be conquering small islands, and then conquering a specific island for fast travel back to that area.
Yeah.
We talked about that. What else did we talk about?
Also, I just want to add in there, reward-wise, it's not going to be like gold chalices. There'll be old war like technology, like guns or computers.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Stuff that actually means something, because gold isn't going to mean much here. It's really not.
No, no. Yeah, that's why I said treasure, as in like finding old historical things that still work in apocalyptic warfare.
Like a Fallout.
Yeah, like a Fallout shelter.
All right.
So now we just need to come up with a way of explaining that.
Trying to space out the stuff so we have room to write.
I know I spelled that wrong. I don't care right now.
Oh, that was good.
Word good, yep.
In this game. Treasure finding, fast travel, and
Zone capturing.
zone capturing. Thank you.
So there'll have to be a total of 20 spaces, basically.
One for each. Yep.
20 spaces for what?
For the whole board.
Is that how much we have?
Well, why would it have to be 20?
I mean,
I know one for each. I know for one for each piece, but the thing is like, so here, hang on. So, like, if you were gonna capture this area, right?
yeah.
But the last enemy was down here, right? You wouldn't just go, okay, hey, let me just disperse it out all the way. You could say, hey, this is my main hub, and I could just move it here and totally block them in. You see what I'm saying? As long as they had one piece to kind of control it all.
Yeah, like Risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, where Risk, you always leave one piece behind to control that territory so you don't lose it, and then you slowly build up your wall to prevent them from coming back on you.
Yeah.
I just noticed something. I don't know if this might be an issue. According to the statement up above about who our target audience is,
Okay.
he says, don't make, let's see, many students feel the need to include lots of target audience. This is a mistake. For example, he gives basically sports fans and role player games. He says this is not a good idea unless it is a sports RPG. It is better to select one. It's like a single target audience. Should we just take off one of those two and just make one set?
No.
Those two work for what we're doing. It is a competitive game, and it is a strategy game.
Exactly.
I just wanted to make sure with no issue just because of what he wrote there.
Though I kind of wanted to just make a sports RPG now, just to like kind of rub it in his face because he said it's blasphemous. It's like, oh, it's blasphemous. Well, here's the basic sports RPG.
How would that work?
Yeah, I know how it would work. Football.
No, play the actual game, but in order to do something, you
Football and hockey players are your take.
Go work out. 3 points, work out.
The track guys are your rogues. Let's see, we're soccer players are your Rangers.
Same number of soccer players now.
Yes. Glorioso.
Leviosa. Stop it, Frog. Leviosa.
Glorioso.
Stop it, Ron.
I killed Dumbledore. Spoilers.
Oh, man.
Kind of like Fury still being alive. Oh, spoilers.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, have you not seen Captain America: Winter Soldier?
No. Of course.
You should never expect Fury to be dead.
Okay, so
Anyway.
because I know we're starting to get a little tired, and we're starting to get a little. Do we want to keep pressing, pushing for a little bit, and try to finish up at least one more page?
Yeah, I would like to finish all of it. To be
Okay.
honest, but
Because I know you were saying that you were going out, Corey, and that's why I didn't want to bug you too much, man.
No, that's fine. I mean, at this point, until I really get the feel for what you guys are wanting to do, I'm kind of really just editing now.
Okay.
I say we should at least have something for each section so that we can come back and revise and edit.
Yeah, you want some room to wiggle.
Yeah, like at least put something down for each category.
and then we can come back tomorrow or Sunday's meeting. I think
All
we
right,
should do
so
it tomorrow.
So let's do.
Finish it up.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's in a fast reference, or if you can do it in 1 to 2 sentences, let's hit each area, and then we can come back and we can keep filling it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that. I'm gonna finish up this goal portion because I kind of have a feeling how I want to type it up and write it out real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you guys want to keep going down, I mean, go ahead. Let's not just all sit here and watch. Let's all get it done.
Did you guys hear about Fallout 4 possibly being announced?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Totally gonna watch that.
That's why you're not supposed to be running around so you don't wake up your brother. I need you to go close that door and go downstairs. Okay? This door right there. Ollie, that door right there. No, this door right by Daddy's collection. Thank you. Sound captures.
So I'm might possibly be getting off in about half an hour to 45 minutes.
Okay, well that's why I said let's start pushing, getting at least a sentence or two in there to kind of sum up what we need to do, and then we can go back and we can reiterate it. Zone capture is our main goal. This allows players to So our main goal is that.
Fast travel. I don't know if that's a goal per se.
I'd say it's a challenge. Maintaining control.
Yeah, it might be a challenge.
I mean, that's what I put already in there.
I mean, we can remove it.
I'm just saying that because it's in the sentence that says there are multiple goals in this game, and that's one of them. So maybe just removing it from that sentence and then keeping it in some other sentence.
Treasure finding, zone capturing. What? No. Eliminating the other players.
Flipping the table. Identify each provide basic parameters.
How is the... Okay, hold on, I'll wait till you're done.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
So, how does this relate to treasure finding?
How does that relate to treasure finding? Okay, so treasures are kind of like your special objects, right? So allowing you to utilize those objects. So, like, let's say you were on the swamplands, right?
And you found the bubonic plague.
Yeah, let's say you found like the nuke button, or whatever, or the swampland trap, right? That allows you to utilize those types of treasures, allowing players to either get their moves cut in half, or allows them to not be able to attack for certain moves or anything like that. Does that help or no?
Okay, I'm going to rewrite the sentence.
Okay, no, go ahead.
We're doing it at the same time. Are you stupid? Yes. Okay. Well, clearly you are in terms of making a game. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're basically building the rules of the game right now. You need to calm down and hang up the phone. Good, you're hung up on me.
You need to calm down and have some fun.
I know, right? Just because he gets to work doesn't mean that... working for my mom's a total bad idea. Don't ever do it. I've been doing it for 5 years. Do not, guys, just don't ever work at a flower shop on Mother's Day or Valentine's Day. Don't do it. It's the worst thing you'll ever do. So bad. It's like each provide their separate parameters.
Hey, here's a question. I'm looking further down on the thing. That says, basically it's asking, are we going to allow cooperation in the game? Do we think we should allow people to team up against other players, or
Yes.
have it where there's no teaming up period?
No, they are allowed to.
So basically, you can create alliances.
Yes. And that's what we were talking about earlier, was that alliances, if there is an alliance, it's not, hey, do you want an alliance with me? I think it should be a card. And it should be something that you earn, and it goes, hey, I'm going to alliance with you for 5 turns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes more
Yeah, but then
sense.
if they draw that card, they'd have to align with somebody
No,
else.
you can hold it. You can hold the card.
Oh.
It allows them to align with other people.
Oh, okay.
So basically, if you have an opportunity to take an area of the map,
Yeah.
but you need help
Or you feel like you are about to be, like, pummeled.
by someone, you go, oh, by the way, we're now in alliance for 5 turns. You can't touch me.
Yeah, exactly. And if they break that alliance, there's going to be ramifications for it.
Are we really going to let people eliminate other players completely?
I think we should do that.
You don't think so?
No.
And so I'll say eliminating other players' resources.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Because the only option there is like Risk. Risk, you eliminate each player to rule the world. If we don't have if we're not eliminating players from the game, what is our win condition? Because that basically takes away a win condition.
Yep.
We were
And we
talking
have to
about
make a new one.
treasures. We were talking about what else were we talking about? I don't know. I think it's
No,
I think
we
it
were-
should be more so if you capture all the zones.
That requires like everyone.
Yeah.
Like
That
one-
requires you eliminating all the other players.
Players.
If you leave a
Not
player left,
necessarily.
they can still
If
have
we
a
set it
zone.
up to where a player can still be in the game without actually controlling a zone, we can still do that.
Basically stating like they're in a prison.
Not necessarily a prison, but like in order to control a zone, you have to have a majority control over it. Like you have to have the most amount of resources or troops in it. If you can be in one zone, but if another player has more troops in that zone, they control the zone. Something like that. I mean, they can that way the player who's still playing but not necessarily controlling the zone still has some kind of chance.
I know, but then that takes away from it being a competitive game, and that means that competitive game players won't want to play it, which then, of course, means that one of our target audiences has been excluded, because competitive game players mostly play games to where you eliminate an opponent.
Exactly.
Magic the Gathering is a competitive game, and your purpose is eliminating your competition from the tournament by defeating them.
So you guys do want to do eliminating other players.
So at this
I
point,
thought that was something that we discussed. That
Yeah,
if that's
I
not
thought-
what we discussed, that's my bad.
I was actually assuming that's where we were going with this, but if that's not the
Well,
case,
the other case was that we were saying that if you were going to win, another way that you could win was by having all the treasure or having a majority of the treasure. But is it not going to be a territory-based game then? That's what's going to be important.
Yeah, and that's in the story says, which we did already agree on, that the whole point is to control the other territories.
yeah. And
So,
then, I mean,
so
the way
I'm
we
sorry.
could possibly spin it to where no one gets eliminated is that once you capture another opponent's territory, they are now working with you permanently, and so whatever remaining forces they have are considered your forces as well.
Or something what we could do is kind of do like a Rikers Island type thing, is when an enemy is destroyed or eliminated. So like when we do a fight, right? Like what we were discussing was, okay, we roll, someone gets a fight, I rolled an 8 and you rolled a 6, right? I just kicked your guys' ass. Your guy can now go to Rikers Island, where you could choose to so let's say you don't have a move that you want to make, you can say, hey, I want to roll to get my guys out of jail, or I want to roll to get my guys back. See what I'm saying? No? Yeah? Maybe so.
Yeah, whatever you guys want. I just wanted to know what to keep the wording as.
No, Miguel, Miguel, ugh. Shit. What are you thinking?
I think he's AFK right now.
Huh?
I think he went AFK.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are you guys thinking? Because I know we're kind of on the same page here with this, but if we don't want to totally eliminate players, but that's what we could do, where it gives the players an ability to come back and to keep playing.
Alright, so run me down again. I was feeding my lizard. Sorry about that. Run me down again how you plan on eliminating people.
It was the combat roll.
Basically, yeah, the combat roll, as you defeat your opponent's forces, they're eliminated from the board until you've completely eliminated all of their pieces and taken over their territory.
Okay, so I would take it like this. I would do it like this. Let's say you remove. Let's get 2 players, right?
Yep.
Let's say I take out all of Aaron's pieces. Let's say I have 15 and I just finished taking out his last one. He's obviously out of the game. There's no way that he can come back. He doesn't have any pieces. He's a warlord. We take him captive. Blah 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 blah. He's out. Right?
Yep.
What we can do instead of the winner taking control of that, will leave whatever territory he has available open for grabs without war. So if you can get to that first, you can conquer that without fighting anyone. Because let's say the combat wasn't on the main field, but it was on like an island apart from the field. So let's say his main battlefield, it's on the bottom left. That's his piece that we start off with, and we do the fight in the middle of the swamp. Okay.
Yep.
If we were moving the swamp, we're not necessarily inside his own
territory.
But you would still have to go to the territory in order to capture his stuff.
So you're saying that's a good idea, because then at that point...
I think I understand. So basically, if, say, you fought Aaron in the swamp, and you defeated his army was sent back to his, basically back to his territory, and in order to actually win, you have to go to his territory and defeat him there. Is that what you're saying?
No. Once you finish his units in the swamp, he doesn't have an army. So when you go over to his territory, you just go there and you automatically take it over because he has nobody to fight with. He lost his army when you defeated him in the swamp.
Unless, of course, we're doing the risk rule and he can always leave someone behind, where one person has to remain.
If he has someone there, but I'm saying like...
Yeah, if there's nobody left there, the moment you move in...
So it's still eliminating players. You're still going to end up eliminating players.
Yeah, I think that's how it should work, because it gives everybody a fighting chance.
Well, and that's why I said, I was like, if we don't want to fully, officially eliminate players, what we could do is send them to a Rikers Island type deal.
Yeah.
Right? Where then, if, let's say you have such a good strategy, right, and you're like, you know what, I could risk me, rolling a dice and maybe getting 2 people out of jail and just increasing my forces. So that's what you do, is you would roll and then gain more people back.
What I was thinking is, because we have... The green pieces have a maximum of 20. What I was thinking is we can start off with like 10 or 15, and we can use the backups as reinforcements, or cards that give you reinforcements.
Okay.
Instead of using all 20, we can start off with like 10 or 15, and we still have like, let's say 5 or 10 units extra that we can bring into the board later on.
Yeah.
That was just on the same topic, but
But either way, it's still going to be eliminating other players.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are in agreement. We're going to eliminate other players. We're not going to do a Rikers Island type deal or anything like that, right?
Yep.
All right. Making sure. No, making sure. So then we're all in agreement with it.
Yeah, we can try that. Let's say during playtesting, keep that in mind. See if that works better.
Yep.
But we can definitely keep notate that somewhere that this is something, or just have your personal notes where we can just add this on later while we're playtesting. See how it works, because it sounds like a good idea regardless.
Okay.
I'm all the way down at comparable games, and I compared it to Risk.
What was that?
I'm all the way down at comparable games, and I compared it to one comparison to Risk.
Would this be technically a war game though?
No, I think it would be like a mix, but ours would also include strategy, like Risk does.
Yeah, there's actually a military game that I think it's called Memorial 404 or 44 or something like that. That is solely war. This is actually more like Risk, which is strategic. It's still a war game, but it's strategic.
Oh, it's going to put Monopoly. No.
And what we can do is we can include cards. Cards can be different weapons different dictators could have, possibly.
Well, that's what we were saying. Those are like resources, or the treasures of the area.
Yeah, and they can give bonuses to your attack roll. Let's say a +2 or a +5 on top of whatever you roll.
Yeah, like you find the nuke in the swamp, which gives you a plus so and so to battle when you detonate it.
Plus infinity. Too bad it won't kill Deadpool.
Well, no one can kill Deadpool. That's the concept, which is actually annoying me because they say that there's a rumor going around that the current writer of the Deadpool series is going to kill Deadpool off so he can be with his love, Death. But Death herself has stated Deadpool cannot die, so if they do that, I will be PO'd.
So I was explaining that to my wife last night. I was like, yeah, Deadpool and Death are like lovers. And she's like, what? And so I had to explain it to her.
Yeah, because in the Marvel Universe, Death is a woman.
Except for the Marvel Universe has officially come to a close.
Yeah, because they're gonna renew the whole universe.
Yeah, so anything that has mechanic before is no longer.
Anyway, let's stay on track, guys.
Yep.
Wait, seriously? They're going to end the Marvel Universe?
Alright, stay on track. Come on.
They already did.
That sucks.
Nuke too much.
Where are we, guys?
We're currently at endgame goals.
Okay.
I'm further down, just kind of like putting stuff in.
Yeah, that's what I was doing too, and I kind of stopped at how we're going to introduce cooperative play into the game.
Yeah, that's what got us started. That whole conversation of are we eliminate players and
I mean, we can
aligning.
make alignments pretty much and have like certain mechanics for those.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. It was let's do an alignment where they can only do it for 5 turns or something like that. But it has to be an actual card to do an alignment.
Okay.
Good thing William's gonna watch 3 hours of us talking.
Hopefully.
It's 3 hours worth of great content.
So, are we going to say that it's a card-based mechanic, or are we going to say it's an event-based mechanic for the teamwork?
Event / card based at this point is the same.
Yeah, it's a hybrid.
¿Qué te estás haciendo? Right. ¿Qué estás haciendo? What are you doing?
Das beer. Identify each and provide basic parameters. I don't understand.
Beep boop does not compute.
CPU overload.
Danger! Danger, Will Robinson! Danger!
I can't let you do that, Mac.
Dang it, now I have the urge to go watch my Space Odyssey.
Oh, you can do that when you're done. Love you, Pete. Love you, Peter. Alright, Corey, I'm done.
Are we gonna play Risk after we finish this?
Yes.
Alright, sweet. I want to
You're done with which part?
The part that you were on, goals and rewards, for top one.
Alright, let me see. Huh?
If you guys want to add more to it, add more to it. I just
Keep going too if you like. Then I'll read it and I'll read it out loud because it just helps that way. There are multiple goals in a game, such as treasure finding, eliminating the other player, zone capturing, whatever. Treasure finding is one of the big goals to our game. This will give players special abilities. These abilities are unique to each treasure. Zone capture is your main goal, and this allows players not only win the game, but also open fast travel to a particular zone. Throughout the game, you will come across other players. Your goal will be to eliminate the opponent to help you take over zones. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
yeah, that's what I kind of figured.
Yeah, it's perfect. That's the basic of the rules right there. And then we'll underline everything else with actual rules and end game conditions.
What kind of movement or turns are involved for each player? What is a turn sequence? Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh,
Can
What
we
is it?
set up strongholds using, let's say, excessive units?
Yes.
Like let's say, because we do have extra tokens, let's say we can set up strongholds to secure bases a bit better, like you said in Risk.
Yeah, you'd want a place where you could have 5 people sitting. Right? Is that what you're getting at?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
I'm basically setting up the stuff. We're supposed to list 3 other games similar to ours.
3 other games similar?
Yeah,
Look up Shogun.
okay. I'm also going to put Five Nights at Freddy's.
No.
I'm not sure. Shogun. Gin. Come on, Japanese anime stuff. Come on, hurry. How do you spell this?
Wait,
I
why are
don't-
you looking up Shogun?
Shogun? Shogun's kind of like Risk. Shogun is kind of like Risk, but it's like, I don't know.
I'm not sure if I spelled it right.
How do I say that? Players will roll dice to move their pieces.
She's in nesting still, yeah.
Requirements of their roll.
What happened? My face. Trying to think.
Alright, so endgame conditions. Anybody want to work with me on that one?
I will in a second.
Alright.
The players invading an area, or
I think Shogun's spelled SHOGUN. Yeah, not the other way around.
Whole thing on a different Shogun.
Yeah.
Kurosaki Japanese and just similar spelling.
Okay, nice.
Identify each and provide basic parameters.
So, hey, so let's say there was like you want to do a treasure, right? Would you then switch your dice? So, like, if you're a player, like, so if it's Peter's turn, right? Peter's like, you know what? I don't want to move. I'm gonna search for treasure. So then he's gonna do his treasure finding, right?
Yeah.
Will that count as a roll, or are we gonna allow him to keep or to then say, okay, now I'm gonna move?
How about we don't do it that way, because then it'll just split the game up. How about we incorporate treasure finding onto onboard pieces? So let's say if you land on a place where there might be treasure, you then roll. We'll
Okay.
have like an event, like an onboard event instead of a
Onboard event, got it. No, I like that better. Yeah, thank you. That was good, Miguel.
So basically, when you get into the territory, you have a chance to look for treasure.
Yeah, but it's not any piece. It's not any piece on the board. You have to be on a specific piece.
Yeah, you have to be on somewhere specific.
Okay, so then that still answers my question though. Even if you move, let's say you move a character in there, are you going to allow him to roll right away, or are you going to make him wait the next turn?
Let's wait until after he gets all his moves finished. So at the end, close to the end of your turn, after all pieces have been moved,
Okay.
then you can go ahead and treasure roll.
Okay.
We could set it up like a phase, kind of like I'm going to pull from typical card games. You have a typical turn phase, such as your draw, your play, combat, and then of course a second main phase of work to get
Which is kind of where I'm at right now. I said the player will roll a dice and move their pieces within their confinement of their roll. So that's basically stating if you roll a 5, you can move how many paces you want within the confinement of your roll. If a player is invading an area or being invaded, a battle roll will then commence. And then I was going on with the treasure hunting roll.
Yeah, so we could have that as basically move. We could have it be more like move, explore, combat type of deal.
Okay.
So it's basically they have the option to explore for treasure. If they choose not to, they don't have to. And then at the very end, if they want to do combat, then they can go into combat. Otherwise, they just end their turn for the next person to go.
All right, and then who's going to create the map itself?
I think Aaron had an idea for the map.
Yeah. Emilio is technically the primary artist, so I'm going to get with him. However, I already have a pretty good idea how we should set that up.
All right.
I gotta get off, guys.
Okay.
When I get done with all my stuff tonight, I'll get on Drive and look over everything, do some editing, and I'll make all my adjustments known in the chat.
Okay.
I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
We'll send you messages, man.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry.
Well, y'all have a good night.
Yep. Sorry it took so long, man.
No, that's no problem.
So, all right.
Later.
Yeah, this is gonna take some time. I mean, we can't just get it done in an hour.
Yeah.
That's usually what will our team, whatever.
Meetings.
Fight. Yeah, meetings. The word escaped me.
I mean, team meetings. I mean, we're gonna have to have at least one or two that are extensively long.
Yeah.
I mean, unless we want to go, hey, we're going to split this up. We're going to do this part today, this part tomorrow, this part the next day.
I like tackling everything like this because it just gives us room to come back and look at everything at one go instead of looking at it in portions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is somewhat of a good idea because at least it gives us something in there, and then we can come back afterwards and then just kind of elaborate more and then get everything polished up so that it's ready to be turned in on our last meeting.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying, like, tomorrow we need to come back and we need to do more tomorrow with it. And then Sunday is kind of just our last little
it's basically
up.
just making sure everything looks spelled correctly, make sure all of these lovely orange things are removed, and then make sure it's good to be submitted, and then we'll submit it, and then, and then we'll be ready for the next... The next project for week 2, which is probably going to be a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we, in all honesty, guys, be prepared for the next, 11 months. I don't know how many more months we have of school, but be prepared that it's going to be heavily intense.
Yeah.
With us, everybody working as a team. Like, a majority of the time, you're going to be from now on working in a team.
Yeah, that's what I was advised. Our last few classes for this current thing is, or I think is this little bit as well as up into graduation will all be team-based because we got to get accustomed to working with a team because that's what we're going to be doing once we graduate is getting a job and being part of a team to develop stuff, just like we're doing right now.
Unless you're Scott Cawthon, and you make Five Nights at Freddy's in like 3 months.
Oh,
I mean, in all honesty, we could delegate this crap out and say, okay, Peter, you're gonna take page 1, I'm gonna take page 2, and we could do it that way. However, this is more of a discussion base. We all need to be discussing this real quick because next week we're probably gonna do more delegation. We're probably gonna be like, okay, Malave, I need you to do this.
I think next week is us actually breaking down and developing everything. So we'll probably break up the tasks like the development of the rules and making sure the mechanics work, which will be me and whoever else wants to join in with it, and then go from there with that.
Exactly. I think that's where it's going to be next week and the third week. And then we're just going to probably do like, okay, hey, where are we on the task? Let's see what you got. All right, let's go ahead with that.
Yeah.
But for like this, that's why I said like the first week is going to be pretty shitty for all of us.
Yeah, because we don't know each other's schedule, and they have to like sync up and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's why I hope like next month they don't change the teams again. You know, it's just it's too fucking. It's like once we get in a cycle, it's easy just to stay in the cycle.
So do you think we'll stay as a team, or they're gonna give us different classes?
Well, see, that's the thing I was told. I was told that after a point, it's going to be the exact same team all the way up until graduation. So I don't know, because I was told that the next class it may be randomized again, but they said majority is that people you're working with will be more than likely people you'll be working with up until the point where they're saying, all right, you're now making a video game. The people you're working with is who you're working with until
you
finish.
Graduate.
Yeah.
Level design.
So, and what I understand is they try to get people who are in the exact same time zone and area to work together. Like, all of us are pretty much in, I think, like, close to the North Carolina area, or are in North Carolina.
Yeah, we're on the East Coast.
Yeah, which is why we're all teamed together. I'm pretty sure there's one where there's a bunch of people who are in the UK who are teamed up together.
No, there's no one in the UK. It's like basically like the whole class right now is like all based in the US, but it's split up into time zones.
Yeah.
Because like the last class for me, we had like 2 people in like the other side of the country, and like one was in Colorado, one was in Ohio, and then like the other 2 were like here in like the West Coast. Like our time was like all messed up.
Yeah. So what they're trying to do now is make sure everybody's within the same time zone, so that it makes it easier for us to have our team meetings.
Yeah. Well, something that's going to probably that, I think last month didn't happen was I don't think he took that into consideration, and that was one of my complaints. I was like, you have too many people in different locations where.
No! Fuck that guy. That guy needs to be fired.
Oh, okay. So everybody else gave him a pretty bad review too. Good.
I didn't do it.
No,
that guy was terrible.
I was just happy to have like time off. I just didn't do it.
You just didn't do the last month's?
No, I did do last month. I just didn't do the review thing.
Oh.
I was just happy to have time off.
Oh, yeah.
No, I did that review. I was vulgar as shit in it. I was honest. I said, nah, you guys need to fire him.
I was honest too.
Yeah, I was pretty much honest too. I was saying that I was a little more tactful. I stated either he needs some, he might need some education on his own material.
Yeah. Speaking of which, he still hasn't graded any of last week's shit.
He still hasn't graded.
I just checked.
I know he's terrible. The other guy, the guy from the basically the Breeze class for the Unity thing, that's all been graded.
Yep.
Yeah. I've been looking back and forth in between Unity.
Okay, so here we are. Okay, I'm now up here with you, Miguel.
All right.
What endgame conditions? At this point, I would state that if it's either eliminating all opponents' forces, and collecting each location, or do we want to say eliminating a majority of forces and collecting all treasure?
Nah. You should be like the last man standing to win.
We want the last man standing?
Yeah.
But that would require like there to be like one piece for every single territory. And like if someone has like
like I said, like what we were saying earlier is that you can move your pieces around.
Yeah, but you have to like if we're doing the risk roll, we have to have at least one back.
But we're not going to. We're doing it our rule. Where if you have a territory, so let me hang on a second. Now, I could be wrong, and you guys can call me out and say I'm a dumbass, or say, no, you're fucking wrong, Aaron. But what we were talking about over here...
I can't see. Oh, no, I can. There you go. Sorry.
Let me see if I can get better in there. Hang on. Sorry, it's the bad lighting in here, man.
Oh, no. Your camera didn't load at one point, but I can see now.
Okay. So, let's say you were taking over this area, right? obviously this one's going to be ridiculed with motherfuckers, but let's say this is your area right here, right? And there's multiple spots, but you could leave one of your guys in this spot. Doesn't have to have one guy here, one guy here, one guy here, one guy here, one guy here.
Okay. So there's one in the entire section.
Yeah, as long as there's one in this section and you said, this is my fucking zone, this is my zone, flag, woohoo, my zone, right?
Yeah.
He cannot take it over just by walking into it.
Yeah, they have to battle and eliminate that one guy.
One guy.
To get over.
Okay.
Okay? So, even if you're loaded up in forces here with 5 here and 2 here, or 3 there, 2 here, and, and let's say you got another here and 4 here. As long as there's one asshole, it's hey, come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. Because I'm getting nothing but fucking 20s when I roll fucking dice. Come at me, motherfucker. I'm all ready for you.
Like my sister. Oh my god. Whenever I play Risk with my sister, it's basically the same thing. She always has one guy left, but always manages to roll all 6s on everything. It's seriously?
It's an Aries thing.
Oh my god.
My Libra brother too.
Oh, and for everyone's knowledge, my fiance is now here. She's now lying behind me on the bed.
Hi! Oh, here, hang on. Let me get on there. Hi! Okay, I'm done being a dumbass for half a second.
No, we needed that comedic relief.
Okay. Well, in all honesty, so I am not going to do a serious artwork. I want to do, Borderlands type artwork on this bitch.
Okay.
Oh my god, yes.
Put cell shading on that.
Well, I'm saying, dude, okay, have you ever seen a map printer? Those big-ass map printers?
Nah.
I've seen them on videos. I've never seen one in person.
Well, you know how clean and graphically, they get, right?
Oh, yeah, they're beautiful.
So, I have, 5 of them at my disposal for work.
Done.
So, yeah, so that's why I said, we're gonna have something look very fucking pretty.
So something I can print out, I would assume.
It's nothing that you can print out. Yeah, no, you're not going to be able to print it out. I'm going to send it to you.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to overnight the bitch to you.
Ah, shit.
Amazon Prime.
Or you could just drive your happy ass down here since you only live, an hour away from me.
Dude, I'll be more than willing to pick that shit up once you get it done. And then we can actually play test it instead of having our own people. We can all, most of us are really all in North Carolina, so we can all just meet up one day and be hey.
You know what I do?
I'm the only one.
You know what I do? I go down to fucking Barnes & Noble and I say play testers needed. I put a sign out there and I just put the board out there and I'm like, let's go. Fucking, this is the rules. This is what we're doing. Because I'm not going to play test it myself. I'm going to watch people do it.
We should do that on a day that we all have off. I can do that Thursday or Friday. That's when I have off. That's when I can go wherever the fuck I want.
I'm in Florida.
Well, I was just down there. Sorry. Fuck. Alright, so...
You gotta take that 13-hour ride up here.
Yeah, I was going to say, you better start fucking driving, man. I pumped in some serious hours last night.
I don't have a car.
Well, you better start hitchhiking.
In all honesty, holy shit. We got home at 3 in the morning. Alright? I'm fucking tired.
I'm going to sprout wings.
And I have kids, so they were like, it's 7 o'clock. Time to wake up, Dad.
Rise and shine.
I slept all night through the car ride. Fuck you. Alright, so endgame conditions, right?
You have to control, this is several endgame conditions. One way to win is by controlling at least 95% of the board.
Alright.
The reason I say 95 is because that one guy could just keep running around and
killing but that one guy could totally kill out all your opponents.
Yeah, we want it to be fair, but up to the point where, let's say, if he still has at least one piece and he's defending, fine, I guess. But 95% would be a good percent.
But how would we determine 95%? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is true.
How many slots would there be on
It's
the board?
easier to say
Basically.
control all territories.
Yeah, I guess at that point we'll go with control all territories 1, eliminate all opponents as 2.
Nuke.
What about treasures? So we include the treasures,
Yes.
at least have a certain amount. Let's say
That's what I was going to say.
treasures in order to bankrupt every other military political party.
That's what I was going to say. So if there's 5 treasures per zone, right? If there's 5 treasures per zone, and let's say you collect at least 3 per zone, so that's what? That's fucking 15?
Yeah,
I would say that motherfucker's the winner.
right there.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Multiple ways you can flip the table. The table.
I didn't even say that. That was awful.
Did you not notice you wrote that?
Did I write flip the table?
You did.
No.
No, that was Malave.
Yeah.
But it all,
You win the
man.
game.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom real quick. Give me a second.
All right.
Malave's wanting a spirit bomb.
uh, oh, jeez.
So are we getting kind of happy with what we're creating here?
Yeah.
It's looking really good. I think after our little bit of getting sidetracked, I think we got on task and we're getting this really well done.
Well, I knew that I had a feeling, in all honesty, that the first part was going to take us an hour to get to what we want to all create.
Yeah. And some of ideas were good, just that the scope was different.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, everyone's different, and that's why I was saying, hey, let's look at what we know best.
Yeah. I know Halo. Can't wait for Halo to come out. Oh my gosh. Elementary.
God, I suck at spelling. Oh, enemy forces.
It's okay. It's okay, Aaron.
I can't spell because of raisins.
He can't spell because of Hooked on Phonics. It ruined him.
It didn't work.
I'm sorry. I'm right there with Aaron. My parents got me hooked on phonics because they thought it would help, and it more or less hurt.
They didn't give me that. My parents got me like that 3rd grade adventure stuff. I was like, what is this? It's too easy. Give me something more difficult.
So all I can say is that whoever thought it was a brilliant idea to create Hooked on Phonics was an idiot because it doesn't work.
Up to 15 different treasure pieces across.
I'm just gonna pull up Aaron and edit everything he says.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. In all
That's
honesty,
what I was getting ready to do.
just follow me. I mean, you'll fucking
follow him. Or if you want to mess him up, just like put your cursor where his cursor is and wait until he keeps typing.
I know,
Like,
that
wait,
really
why is it
screws
not
me up.
moving? You know it tripped you up that one time.
It does. It fucks me up every time. It's all of yours and give any necessary information. Okay, so obviously this is straight to the point.
Yeah.
You know, but we can indulge on this shit tomorrow. Or, you know, I want to get in here and be like, hey, we at least have an answer for everything.
So far, it looks like we have an answer for everything but the last question.
How does your game differ?
Yeah.
How does it differ?
I got you.
We
I
say
say
it
that.
different.
Mechanics. It differs in mechanics. It differs in rules. Because in Risk, you have to have a piece for every fucking board. We're not doing that. Right?
Yeah.
Playstyle. So mechanics, there's multiple dice for each fucking scenario. That's not the case for fucking Risk. Shogun is another similar game to ours. What's another? Come on, Peter, help me out.
Where's your train of thought going?
It differs from not only map locations, but it also
Fluid. The gameplay is fluid. Not only that, but movement will become fluid because of the teleportations that we have.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, with the transfers.
That other games do not.
Correct.
We have and unique environment
And unique environment abilities. Yes.
Biohazards.
Biohazards. Thank you.
because there's not that many games out there that have
Biohazards.
Because there's not many strategy games like Risk. There's not really any biohazards for Risk unless you're playing like Risk 2025, I think it is.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying is, it differs from those.
Yeah, this is not like a spin-off of another game. Like, that is a spin-off of Risk with a lot more stuff added to it. This is its own game, and it's going to be unique of the fact that it's a standalone.
Yeah.
Or Resident Evil, which in Japan is known as Biohazard.
Oh well, I love how
Oh, yeah, it is.
I love how this came into being Clue-esque with fucking Risk-esque, and then it turned into more Risk-esque than
I
anything.
know.
Plus Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes,
No,
Five Nights at
It
Freddy's.
still has its Clue-esque because you got the treasures, and that's pretty much the finding portion of it.
Exactly.
We need to like pay homage to Risk or
Well, we're gonna play Risk after this. That's why I said
or
let's.
not Risk, like Clue or something, and have like a wrench in there that's like Colonel Mustard's wrench or something like that.
Oh no! Oh, we are like one of them is gonna be like the Swampland is gonna have like the fucking rusty. It's gonna be a rusty fucking wrench. New York is gonna have a bitter candle or something like that, or a used candlestick. It is the candlestick that will light the way.
And we could like have like flavor text on some of the cards, and it'd be like, "This could be used to murder someone in a library."
Yeah, something like in-house joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Of course. There goes Malave, right in shit.
The candlestick that will light.
Are you serious? You're gonna oh my god, you're making fun of me right now. Like the path. Light the path to the heavens. You spelled heavens wrong, but I knew what you're saying.
To the heathens! Path to the heathens!
The candlestick that will light the path to the heavens.
Alright, so are we good for today?
I think we are.
I think we are. I think we're starting to just get silly and get goofy. Alright, so meeting time tomorrow.
Yeah, because I saw it wasn't in the meeting time sheet.
Because it's not in the meeting time sheet because we haven't discussed it yet. Hang on. Let me go back over some of my notes that I've got written down on shit. Saturday at noon. That's what we were discussing.
We're gonna do one at noon, and then we can do one later in the day, like around 8 o'clock.
Well, aren't you working tomorrow?
Yeah. I work tomorrow. So I can do it at noon, and I can also like try to meet up sometime around my lunch.
Okay.
If you guys want to double up somehow.
Were you the one that was saying that you could do lunch?
Yeah.
I thought that was Corey that was saying that.
No, that was me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's do noon tomorrow.
Noon tomorrow?
Let's
Sounds
do noon
good to
tomorrow.
me. Yeah, I'm all, tomorrow what, Saturday?
Yeah, tomorrow's Saturday. So what we'll do is we're going to do noon tomorrow, and this is what I'm going to want. Let's delegate a little bit on this. Let's say, hey, Peter, you're going to take the rest of the mechanics. I want you to at least have a paragraph for each one. You know what I mean? Or like you and oh my God, Malave, thank you. You know what I mean? Where like we're like, okay, this has to be done a Sunday. We already know what we want. We already know how we want it. So let's go ahead and just put it out there. Let's get our paragraphs in there and let's make it long. All
Are we
right.
talking about for this, or are we talking about for the actual assignment?
This is the assignment, man.
No, I meant for next week's assignment. Are we talking about this assignment or next week's assignment?
I'm saying for tomorrow's meeting.
Oh, for tomorrow's meeting. Okay.
Yeah. So how will the players operate in the game? What pieces will be available? Tokens, or armies, cards, or treasures? I think we can do a little bit more than that.
Plus,
Right.
that'd be something that
I just put that in there for a picture.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying is like, any of these quick answers that we put, we're gonna have to indulge on them tomorrow.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I mean, we just put some quick answers in there.
Yeah. So that's why I said today is a little bit smaller meeting. I mean, today was not a small meeting. I'm saying tomorrow will be a little bit smaller meeting. So then we could just go ahead and start knocking this out.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
great.
All right. Because at that point, I'm gonna stop recording. So, yeah.